What's been up, Brett?
Nah, been doing some writing. Something I really enjoy writing about. I
Well,
might if I get this one right, I might enter it into some contests. So we'll see. But
you know, writing is hard.
yeah, there,
It's you have to have a certain level of
patience.
attention span.
Yeah, you just need to like focus. I mean, that's all that is. You just
It's
don't.
hard. It's really hard.
I don't even. But I enjoy writing so much, so I don't mind. When I'm in the zone to write, I can go for hours.
I like joke writing and I love it, but like even when I do that to myself, I'm like,
Yeah, but like you doing what comedians ain't. Well, I mean, you still young in your career, so I guess you ain't even been on the stage yet. So what am I saying? Because did you ever
what
watch
were
that?
you about to
I was about to say, did you ever watch that special Nanette on Netflix? The Netflix
say?
special.
Nanette.
Yeah, it's the Hannah
Who?
Gatsby. I told you to watch. It's a stand up special called Nanette by Hannah Gatsby.
That's a woman.
Yeah. Wow. Uh, but no, it's great. I think you should watch it because she does what I think a lot of stand up comedians don't do too often. She uses the stand up format to like format her show into something that's not just a series of jokes, but like an overarching like thesis on things that happens to have jokes in it and be very funny.
You like Bro Burnham because he did that.
But Bo Burnham is like more theater. Hers is definitely like stand up. Like she reacts to the audience and stuff. But hers is wrapped around a narrative that she's trying to push. It like think about like this. Like her first joke in the special when she comes out, she says, "I named the show Nanette before I ever wrote a joke for it." And because I met this girl Nanette who I really like because she's a lesbian, and she said I thought she would be interesting enough for me to write a whole hour on, but she's not, and so now I have to finish the special without the Nanette jokes, and then she continues from there.
So kind of like three mics.
It's like three mics, but not three mics. I think three mics is in that direction though. It's like it's pointing in that direction. Like it's using the stand up format to be like, let me not just tell jokes. Let me do this in a way that's formatted so that it's like an overall piece that builds to something. But hers is like about identity. So like the Nanette thing is like she's saying like she talks about trans people in the special and she makes jokes about it. But the point of the special, at least she never says this, but this is what I gleaned from it, that she's like, I named it Nanette before I knew what it really was.
Are
And
we tired of hearing women talk about their identity?
but listen to what I'm saying. She said, think about it this way. What I think the point was, she didn't say this, but she was like, I named it Nanette before I knew what the special was, and now I'm just stuck with the name. In the same way,
I hear you. I just don't care.
in the same way, you name you Nate before we even know who you are. You might not be a Nate at 20 years old. You might feel more like a Cyrus.
That's so weird.
You know what
That's
I mean?
so
Like
weird.
you're born with a name that you have no identity yet, and you might grow
That
into someone who might not necessarily be a Nate. I think it's
that's
part
so
of,
millennial thinking. That's crazy.
but that's such a really smart idea,
It's
especially
not really smart. It's just really it's fake deep. That's
yeah,
what it
sure,
is.
but it's built around the special, and if you watch the special, the joke she tells, you'll understand why that resonates. I think like on its own, it's like, oh, that's an interesting idea, but the way she puts it into the special and the way she ends and like layers it through the special, she doesn't bring it up again. But the stories she tells and the jokes she makes you really think about like, oh my gosh, I get what she's doing. It's really good if you ever get a chance to watch. But that's all.
I like traditional stand up, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing I see with like, cause I'll be watching. So every once in a while I watch the jokes on Schultz 50 weeks of stand up, and I think to myself, this is funny. And then like I've watched some of 444, haven't watched the whole thing, but it's like I feel like a stand-up special from Schultz is just a bunch of clips from his weeks of stand-up just put together into an hour. Like that's gonna
Well,
be special.
well, that one was, but I feel like in a real special, he wouldn't do that.
You think he would actually
Have a whole,
like build it more? But he doesn't seem
yeah,
like the type to layer it in that. He's just like a guy who's like, I just wanted to be funny, you know?
yeah, I can see that.
But I don't know.
I just think in a real special, he'd have to put some structure behind it. And I think for the 4-4, it was purposely supposed to be from three different things, and it's supposed to be kind of taped together like that. But
Yeah, but
I don't, I don't necessarily think his jokes are that deep anyway, so I wouldn't put it past him.
they're just interesting observations and they're very funny. But also, I think his special was more
Are
about.
they interesting though?
I do think they're interesting because
I feel like,
he has
I
a
feel
he
like
has a He has a very specific point of view. What I'm saying is, I like his special because it was like, I'm trying to give you the feeling of a New York night, and it kind of gave you that because you're just like in 4 different locations by the end. It's less about like the overarching thing and more like the vibe of New York stand up, which I get. I like that. I like that part about it. You don't really see that in a lot of specials.
I feel like there is a thing is too observant. You know.
No.
No. What? You gonna tell me? No.
All right. What do you mean?
I think because okay, my favorite comedians are observant. D.L. Hughley's observant. Chris Rock is observant. Dave Chappelle, who is now one of my favorite comedians of all time, he's kind of observant. But and specifically with Dave, it doesn't come off as just empty observations, or it don't come off as somebody just sitting down and being like, I want to think about something, and I want to act like I'm thinking about something, so I'm just finna say something loud, and it'll sound like I'm thinking about something. Dave actually feels like it's kind of wrapped up into like I guess what you just were talking about. With Dave, it don't feel like it's just questions thrown together. It feels like he's observing a lot of stuff, but he actually has an opinion. I don't know. I feel like Schultz make up his opinion sometimes just to have one. I don't know if he really believes half the stuff he says.
But do you think that's just the layover from you listening to the podcast? Like, if you had never heard a podcast and you heard his jokes, you probably wouldn't have this opinion.
Maybe not, but I would. I don't know.
It's probably an extension of you knowing Schultz as a personality. That's why you don't really latch onto it in the same way.
Maybe so, but I was saying like with Dio, like he can be observant, but then he can talk about his own personal life. And with Schultz, it's like I guess that's what it is. Maybe I don't know if he ever delves into his own stuff a lot because he's often talking about other stuff like politics and women's rights and stuff. He really harps on other things, and he don't really talk about himself.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a way that's too observant because like a lot of the stuff I write, I am talking about a lot of stuff is about me, but then it also is observant of like the town I'm from. So like it's kind of wrapped up. It's like all my stand up is kind of about me, but I don't just say stuff about myself. Like I'm talking about like Vicksburg, or I'm talking about like relationships, or I talk about that '70s show, which is a show that I really love. But then I'll like compare it to my life. It's like it's kind of wrapped up, and I got that from like Chris Rock, and I got that from DL and Dave and all them. And I feel like with Schultz, it is more so. It's more along the lines of just I want to seem like I'm asking an interesting question, so I'm just asking a bunch of questions, and it's like I don't know. It seems kind of shallow. It seems kind of shallow concepts to me. But again, I could be jaded because I've heard all his stuff, and it's like I have a view of him already. But I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and he even said that he's saving jokes for his special and that he don't put on 52 weeks or whatever. So that might be the personal stuff you're looking for, save for the big moment.
Maybe so. And I just feel like does Schultz have anything personal to really talk about? I feel like his worldview is kind of limited.
No, yeah, I mean, everybody's is, but I get what you're saying. Let's just not talk about Schultz. Let's just not. Yeah, let's not get yeah. In the same way, like let's just not talk about media people at all.
Oh, that's where you at.
Because sometimes I listen to myself talk about Joe Budden, and I'm like, why do I care so much about a man I don't care about? And so I just shut myself down.
I care because they be attacking my opinions.
Yeah, and at that point, I'm just like, let them live. They can believe what they want. Because like today, I listened to I didn't listen to it actually. I just skipped to the end of Sean C's review of Milky Way by Boss, and he gave it a 5 out of 10. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself?
Sean C trash, bro.
I never listen. I never watch his videos. Why am I looking at his video now just because it's Boss? I don't care. I like the album.
No, I definitely.
I kept it moving.
No, I definitely listen to Sean C. I don't like Sean C that much. That's just me though. I mean, he's it is what it is.
I don't like his opinions, but like that's a weird thing not to like about a person.
No, I think that's fine. I think it's fine to be like, no, your opinion sucks.
No, I think that's okay too. I just like, but I'm the one seeking it out, so I just have to make the choice. Like, I'm not gonna watch this dude's videos because I don't care. But I've only watched like maybe 2 Sean C videos, but I know he exists. So I was like, I wonder what Sean C thinks of this. Like, why would I care? I don't care what Sean C thinks.
Because you care about other people's opinions.
Yeah, but I'm saying it ain't gonna stop me from liking it. In the same way that Fantano hasn't liked the Cole album, doesn't mean I don't think they're some of the best hip hop albums this decade. You know what I mean? Like it's just you just choose to listen and not listen. I like Dead End Hip Hop because I think they're smart guys who have good conversations until they talk about J. Cole, and then it's just bad.
Perfect. It's only bad because of because you like J. Cole.
No, because they don't address J. Cole in any significant way. They just kind of be like, he's boring, and I hate that argument, and then I just get angry. So
what if they really believe that though?
But you can believe that and then talk about like he's boring because of X, Y, Z. They're like, he's just boring. He just don't rap in a way that I find compelling. And I'm like, I get that, but like, let's talk about the ideas and the music. And they never do. At least they haven't in a while. So I just don't care to hear their take on J. Cole.
I was thinking about J. Cole today. It's a perfect segue. And I just don't know if, and I think I do it too. I don't know if we quite appreciate, I know you do. I don't know if people really quite appreciate him enough. He's going to be missed. And it almost made me cry thinking about it today. When he's done,
This man said, I'm gonna be crying. Yeah.
I don't want to talk no more.
What you say?
No, come on, because you trivializing my plight. So
What were you saying?
I was just saying he's going to be missed. He makes a kind of music that I don't know if we're gonna see again, and if we do, it won't be as good. I really believe it,
Or at
and
least
it's like,
popular. It won't be as popular.
it won't be as popular because people already shit on that kind of music. And I don't even know he don't make just so different kind of music. Like, hey, you either gotta really. He shouldn't be as polarizing as he is. It shouldn't be such a wide scale of like people hate him, people love him.
Well, it's part of it is part of it is just like the fan base. People don't think the fan base is like unbearable, right? Like
I
there.
mean, y'all kind of are, but
I mean, true, but like when KOD came out and people were like, "This album isn't that good," but the Cole fans are gonna be and then it was like a review by a writer, and I was like, the moment you say, "But the Cole fans are gonna think it's great," I turn it off because it's like you're not even talking about the music anymore. I don't let other people's rabid fever over something dictate how I feel about it. You know, people love superhero movies to the point where they'll defend it against anything. I don't dislike superhero movies because of them. I just think they're bad movies generally. But you know, if I love a
yeah,
superhero movie, I'm cool with it. It doesn't matter what they think or how they feel. Like Kendrick Lamar's fans are horrible too, but I love his music. You know,
the Kendrick Lamar fans are bad. I don't know if they. No, that might be worse than Cole fans
they
actually.
pretty bad because if you don't like Kendrick Lamar, but how you not like Kendrick Lamar? He got a Pulitzer, T
Or
Pain
they'll be like,
classic. You know,
or they'll be like, you just don't like real hip hop then, or something like that.
I mean that's how Cole fans are too, though.
To which I hate that shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you say something like that, then you ain't a hip hop fan. I
You're
mean,
not
that's
a
the
hip hop
truth.
fan if you just like you don't like real because you don't like bro. Hip hop has changed and like every genre of music, bro. Calm that
Hip
shit down.
hop has so much variety. You know what I mean? Probably people in the '90s would be like, "Oh, doing all that singing, that ain't real hip hop." You know what I mean?
I
All
mean,
these, all
Charlamagne
these,
talk
all
like
these
that, but like,
melodies.
Charlamagne say all the time, like, Cole or Drake ain't for me, but I think they good rappers, but it's that kind of music they make, and it's just like, okay, well, you just stuck where you are, and that's fine. You stuck in the '90s, that's fine. But
No, he just doesn't. He's the kind of guy who like really vibes with like Nipsey Hussle and Pusha T, who are two people who I can agree are like good rappers who just music just don't interest me at all.
especially Pusha T. Ooh.
You just got to buy stuff. I mean, that's not really fair to the man. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, like I've heard Pusha T songs I really like. Pusha T is a great rapper, and I love listening to him rap on like features and stuff. But something about a certain type of music that I just don't vibe with. But the thing is, it's not like I don't like old hip hop because I love Biggie, I love Nas, I like Wu Tang
Do you
generally.
love them because you're supposed to as a hip hop fan?
No, I love them because they make great music. I
I
listen.
find myself sometimes thinking I might love a lot of them old dudes because I'm think I'm supposed to.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely a case with some people. But I listen to Give Me the Loot all the time. I
Oh
think
yeah,
I think
I, I think "Who Shot You" one of the best songs ever though by Biggie.
I think that's for me. Give Me the Loot is like one of the best songs ever. That's a perfect to me. That's a perfect hip hop song. If anybody was like, "What makes rap music so great?" I'm like, listen to this. This is one of the like five greatest rap songs ever made for me. That New York State of Mind, the message is one of the most beautiful hip hop songs I've ever heard.
I think "The Cure" by J. Cole is like it's one of the more perfect songs that's come out of my lifetime.
Oh, The Cure. I mean, The Cure is kind of wonderful. The Cure brings tears to my eyes when I hear The
Yeah,
Cure.
it give me chills
When
and
it just
and
like
oh and Jodeci Freestyle. Both of those songs I think are almost damn perfect.
Jodeci freestyle less so, and it's more because I just don't. It's not a song really about anything. It's just like rapping.
I kind of don't care though.
Yeah, it is a good vibe, but it's like I need a little something extra on my song to be about something, and
No, no, no.
that's one thing
No,
that
in
holds
my
that back.
opinion, it kind of encapsulates hip hop a little bit. It's like Cause like, what is hip hop? It's two MCs on the corner just rapping, beat on, and you just snapping. And it's like
Mm,
that song is two of the best rappers, in my opinion, ever.
yeah.
On a one of the best beats ever. Cause that Josie freestyle beat is beautiful, and it's just like they just going, and it's almost like a friendly competition. Who gonna outdo who? And I think that's hip hop to me. And it's just like I don't know, it's beautiful.
I,
That song is beautiful.
I definitely hear what you're saying. I get that when I listen to like Big Crit, because there's no pretension in his music. It's literally just like amazing instrumentals, great stories, a really like a lot of personality in his voice, and like just bars for days. So when I hear Kendrick Lamar, sometimes I think like this is really good, but it's like he really trying to big this up more than what it is. Like it's not as deep as he's trying to make it on the song, right? It's really a simple idea that he's dressing up. But I like the song. I think Kendrick Lamar's a genius. But when I listen to Crit and he just raps, I'm like, there's no like ego about it. It's just bars and music, and that's what I love about Big Crit. Even J Cole does that sometimes. I'm like, Cole, like chill out, just make a rap song. It ain't that serious.
You ain't gotta be that deep.
Yeah, you thinking too much about it. It ain't as deep as you think it is. And I think most rappers do that. I think Drake doesn't do that often, which is why I like Drake a lot. And I think
I
Chris,
sometimes wish he did it more though.
yeah, I guess, but I think he's done it enough, and people don't give him credit for when he does do it. So he's like, I'm gonna make some music. Because I think Scorpion and If You're Reading This are two albums that aren't really about like cohesively about something, but the music is just so tight and well done that's what carries it. That's why I love If You're Reading This. It's not because of the big overarching narrative. It's like pound for pound, that's like just a listenable album top to bottom. Whereas Nothing Was the Same is like I can feel it being about something, and that's why I like
Yes,
it.
yes.
You know?
That's why I think Nothing Was the Same as top three Drake albums. But
I think it's his best. I honestly think it's his best. Like,
you went from like not liking it to his best.
I think music, like, because I was listening, the songs I like on it are probably some of my favorite Drake songs, and then the other songs that I thought I didn't like, I like a lot more than I thought I did. Like to me, Own It, Come Through, Wu Tang Forever, uh, what is the one freaking I just forgot it. Worst Behavior, like those are just some of the best Drake songs he's ever made, in my opinion. But then you also got like From Time, which I didn't care for the first time, and now I like this a lot. But I still it's still like lesser on the album, but I still really like it.
No, I definitely was bigging up Nothing Was the Same a while ago. It'll be his most underrated album because people just forget about it, and I think it'll with time
Yeah.
it's gonna get better with time to a lot of people. I feel
Mhm.
like Scorpion will too because every time I listen to Scorpion and I listen to it a lot, it's still being played the most in my playlist. I find something new about it I like, and I do that with every Drake album, obviously, but this different. I really could see myself in about a year or two saying this is his best album, and I believe it. I think Scorpion might be his best, and the good thing about it is either side. If you don't want to put them together, that's fine. You could like both sides because I fluctuate. I don't know which side is better to me. I
Hmm.
really don't, and I think that makes it
Yeah.
him to his best album
I think it
almost.
just depends on the mood, how
It
which
does.
one you're feeling. Yeah, yeah. Because I don't think there's any pretension in Drake's music, and his music, at least on Scorpion, is what it is, and he's always honest about how he's feeling, and I think that's what makes it so resonate with so many people, and why I think it's going to be remembered better than how it's received in the moment. Because I think when I think about like the people who say Astroworld is a great album, I think like it's good, and I think they're saying it because they think it's bigger than what it is. They feel the bigness in it, and I just don't feel it when I listen to it. I feel like
That's a credit
this
to
is I'm like this is just another Travis Scott record. Like it's
that,
it's it's a better than average Travis Scott album. Like it's nothing
that's
I've
a
never.
credit to him though, because like your rollout got to make the people think you did something big, and he did. Like you hear me talking about rollout, I be watching every day struggle, but
I do love Void Struggle.
that his rollout was great because it was like it asteroid like it took. I was intrigued, and I don't even really like Travis Scott like that, but some songs that are fire, and it's like
I mean, yeah, everybody talking about sicko mode
oh, I love it, but
because of Drake. Yeah, yeah.
even if he went on that song was great to me. But
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of songs on that album I like a lot.
I love Stop Trying to Be God. I
Oh,
love
that song's beautiful.
that song is beautiful. That's like a Kanye song, don't it?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's great.
I love Coffee Bean because he just spitting. I ain't never heard Travis just rap.
Yeah, but I
But
thought it too.
Astro Thunder probably my favorite song.
You know, like 5% tint.
I don't like none of this shit.
Whoa,
It's a lot of lull in that album though.
that's how you feel.
It's a lot of songs that didn't have to be in there.
Probably.
And the whole thing with Travis, he make a lot of the same songs. He did it on this album.
I ain't gonna say that because I'm not a big Travis Scott fan, so I don't know. Like I know what a Travis Scott song typically sound like. The big hits, they do sound very similar, but I don't. Yeah, I ain't gonna say that about this man. But
You know what I hate about him though? People people really like look at that, like you know how they'll be like, I don't want nobody taking Travis Scott's sound. I feel like that's an excuse for him to just make the same song and then be like, but that's Travis Scott's sound. He's really mastered it. But it's like, but if they all sound the same, where's the growth? And just because it's a good sound, I mean, you can do it every single time. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
mhm.
I feel like it's an excuse for him to just make the same stuff, kind of. But with this album, the songs that weren't the same was great. So it's like, it's cool. I ain't know it's gonna sell as much as it did, but
It sold so much, dude.
it's still selling a lot. It sold a lot again.
I mean, it also J. Cole. I was like, that's crazy. Like I was like, because his last album sold like 80-some thousand, and I was like,
Where did the jump come? I think it was Kendall. I mean, Kylie.
oh, it was like I said, it was the rollout and it was Kylie. Like I mean, like people who be like, it was Travis Scott just been building a fan base. Like, nah, bro.
Nah,
Yeah,
Kylie
yeah,
helped with
yeah. He
that.
been doing that too because he was on tour with Kendrick on the Damn tour, so that probably got him a lot of new fans. But Kylie out here like Kylie got like what 100 million followers, and she like go listen to my baby's daddy's album. You girls gonna go stream that stuff.
Ain't that crazy what a tour do for you though? Because you take that for granted, like what a tour can do for you.
I don't think it does. I
No,
think
no,
I think he would have grown his fan base. He would have sold. Let's say without Kylie, he would have probably sold like 120K because they'll be
yeah.
like because he would have been like from 80 to 120 because he would have grown from that damn tour. Kylie is what makes the difference. That's definitely what makes the difference.
You think so? Because you like Kylie.
No, I mean I do like Kylie, but like I mean like in the same way that Taylor Swift song made a lot of people realize who Kendrick Lamar was. It's the same thing. Except now it's like every day because Kylie just posts about how much she loves her man and plays his music all the time. So all these kids who love Kylie are just gonna be like, oh, I guess I'm a Travis Scott fan now, and then they're just gonna go stream it on Spotify, and then it makes all the money. That's just how it goes. Cause he ain't had no hits on that album, like not a one.
Did he have a single?
Yeah, it came out like last year, but
Oh, it was
I
like
never heard
it,
of it.
it, it was Butterfly Effect.
Yeah, who heard that?
That was first of all, that was a great song.
It's good, but I mean, I ain't never heard it until the album came out. I was like, that came out a year ago.
You the only one that ain't. And that song was big when it came out.
I guess. But that was
You the only one that didn't
that
hear that
was
song.
still a year ago though.
It was a long time ago.
That
I
was
didn't know he put out an album until he did, and I was like, huh. I didn't know.
that's wild. Yeah, yeah.
But no, to that Cole point though, you know what I do? Going back to him, I hate when people be like, Nadeska do this. She be like, I am more of a fan of mixtape Cole, and because Nadeska loves J. Cole, and I hate people who be like mixtape Cole was, and I'm like, cause I went back and listened. I love his mixtape Cole, but I went back and listened, and the direction that his music took, and the structure, and just how he know how to like make song. I'm like, bro, to say like you like the beginning stuff is like over anything else he's done, because I feel like it's kind of like. Cause like you know how people talk about J. Cole, so I feel like she said it like, "Hey, I like mixtape Cole." Like people do, like like I like So Far Gone Drake. It's like, bruh, to say like he didn't get better or like Cole didn't get it. I don't know. It's just like I feel like that's almost like a cop out to me. It's like, come on, bro. If you a real fan of him, like you like the way he went with his, cause he got better. Like all the music got better. Is what I'm saying.
I don't mind if people prefer the mixtape to the albums, or even if they think that's his best work. It's just like I go back and listen to those now, and I think like I really enjoy these songs. There's no way you're gonna tell me that he's rapping better on here than he is on KOD. Like that's
And
just
that's all I'm saying.
that's like even if you think the songs are better there, there's no way you can't say his rapping got better. Like his rapping on some of those songs are so basic, it's crazy, but they're good songs. I don't know.
He was still going back then though.
I mean, he was going in moments, but it wasn't like how he goes now. Like he ain't like now. It just feels effortless when Cole raps. He just sounds like he's like rapping for him ain't even a choice. Like it's just
Like,
something that just flows out naturally. Back
I
then,
feel that way about Drake too.
yeah, but back then you could hear him force it. Even Drake, if you go back and listen to like Thank Me Later, the like flows feel stiff in comparison to
Yeah,
like what he does now.
it's like on that Fire in the Booth
Which one? The
freestyle.
the one the British one or the bars?
I'm talking about the bars.
Oh, okay, the when he was in the British accent.
No, the other one. No, I'm talking about Fire in the Booth.
So not the British accent. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about the one where he was actually like, his own voice or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
It just seems so effortless. I just like it seemed like it's so easy, bro. It's just like, bro, you
Yeah.
can't tell me the So Far Gone Drake was better than this Drake, man.
I guess their point is like he made better songs then.
And he didn't.
Yeah, I don't agree either, but that's just because I don't like that that project. But
Cause I feel like Drake back then could make a Mob Ties or an 8 out of 10, like or even Talk Up. Like,
I
come
mean,
on, bro.
he can make a Blue Tint, and that song was amazing.
Blue Tint is fire.
I love
And
Blue Tint.
I love Blue Tint so much. It's one of my favorite songs on that B side.
Yeah,
Even to Get Out of My Feelings, like the range of music that he makes now. Like, come on, man.
In My Feelings. Yeah, Nice for What. Nice for What brings tears to my eyes, bro. Every
You
time,
can't talk about me.
I mean, every time I listen to that song, I'm like, why does this energize me so much? There's two lines in there that always brings tears to my eyes. I don't like cry none, but then my eyes get a little watery. But it's just two lines he says. I'm like, oh man, that's real. But it's great.
What lines?
It's it's never your favor, and it's all right. What he says, and it's all right. It's a short life. I don't know
Shut
why,
up, man.
because it's like he's saying like it's okay to have fun. Like, because when he starts the song, he says like, "Dang, how does he start the fucking verse? I know Shorty and she doesn't like. What? How does he start it? How does it start?
I'm trying to think now that you said I can't really think about it. I have to play it.
I know it's I know Shorty and she doesn't want no slow songs. Had a man last year, life goes on. But I don't know the part right before that first line. I'm gonna go to Genius real quick.
Mm.
Nice for what? He says, everybody get your motherfucking roll on. Okay. I know Shorty and she doesn't want no slow song.
That song.
And I think that line is like, she's like, we ain't here to be serious. Let's just have a good time. And then when he says, because I think that's a beautiful sentiment. And then when he says, and it's all right, it's a short life. Something about that is like, it's okay to just have fun. Like, my music is just here to, like, this song is just here to make you feel good. And it's not, you don't have to feel bad about not caring about the world for a moment. And I think that's a beautiful thought. And when he says, now I can't think of the words, and I'm looking at the lyrics. What am I? Yeah, now I can't find it.
And it don't make him any less.
Okay, yeah, when he says, host talk down, you don't see him outside. Yeah, they don't really be the same offline. You know, dark days, you know, hard times. That part makes me tear up a bit too.
Dark days, hard times.
Yeah, that whole bit leading up to the end, the dark days, you know, hard times. Because
Wow.
when I think about that, I think about the video, and I think about when he says that, Zoe Saldana looks into the camera, and she looks like tired, and she's with her children, and it just makes me think about mothers and things, and I'm just like, that's beautiful. Because the whole verse is like, you got a baby Benz, you got some bad friends, high school pictures, bad thing. You should work at 8 a.m., finish round 5, host talk down, you don't see him outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really be the same offline. You know, dark days, you know, hard times. Just the thing of like, you work hard every day. You've seen it all. You really felt the world on you. You're allowed to have joy in this moment, and I think that's beautiful. And that makes me tear up. I don't know, man. I'm been on a wave of like women are the truth, especially black women.
That's great to be on.
Mm-hmm.
But
They say I ain't about that black woman stuff.
no, I am, because I'm with a black woman, so it's like, but I don't know.
They got to stay in their place.
I just feel like I don't know. I just kind of don't care about people these days.
Yeah.
Especially white people. My hate for white people is at an all-time high.
I don't know about that. I mean,
No, it's at an all-time high.
I don't hate white people. I just think
I hate all of them.
they just real adamant these days.
And it makes me want to kill them.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, perfect segue. Blakkklansman.
Yeah, you talk about that. What do you think?
Man, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I did as well.
I thoroughly. You know what? It's crazy to me. It's like, I was sitting and I was like, you said something a couple of days ago. You was like, Spike Lee makes cheesy movies and it's okay or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this shit is so cheesy.
Yeah,
But I was like, bruh, it works.
it's a corny movie.
It's so corny.
It is. Yeah.
But I like, bruh, this shit is great. And I was like, for one, it's just good to see white people uncomfortable. That tickles me in a way that nothing else does.
Mm-hmm.
And all them niggas in that movie made the white people in that theater uncomfortable. Now they were laughing, but you could tell they were like, man, you just have to beat up. That shit was great. And then he ended caught me off guard so much.
The cut to the Donald Trump stuff.
And all the Charlotte and stuff. And I'm like, bro, they were saying the same stuff.
Oh yeah, they was there. David Duke was there.
Bro, I didn't know he said that.
Yeah, I watched. I was like, that's crazy, bro.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's real.
This
Yeah,
shit's still going on.
yeah.
Bro.
That stuff made me tear up. That part then, when it was the people screaming at the cameras like they ran through right through us.
Bro, and they showed the car hitting the people. I didn't
Oh,
see the video like that.
yeah, I saw a review. Somebody was like, a reviewer wrote, he was like, I was sitting in the theater and a woman behind us, like a old white lady behind us, like, oh my gosh, is that real? Like the footage at the end.
She didn't
Car.
know.
She didn't know that was a real thing. That car, because when you're in the theater, you can't leave or turn away, and it's on a big screen, and that car just goes boom,
Bro,
and then
when it
backs
backed up
out. It's
and it
so
ran
fast.
over the people, bro.
It's so hard too. It's like it's jarring. Yeah.
It hit you, and then it's quiet, and then it just go to the flag and the black and white, and then it go off. You just like, what the fuck did I just see?
Yeah, man, that's Spike Lee.
Like, but okay, to the movie itself,
Yeah.
I thought the movie was great, and I don't think any one person like just stood out except I thought Adam Driver was great. He looked dirty.
But he's a great actor, ain't he?
He's great, but he just looked dirty all the time, and I don't know why. It just
Yeah.
I just made a mental note of that. I was just like even in silence, he looked dirty.
Yeah.
Even as Kylo Ren, he kind of looked dirty, but all that, but that's just me.
I'll just say this real quick. I'm rewatching Girls now, and he plays like a degenerate, like sex addict who does horrible things to women. And he's amazing, but he also does look very dirty.
He fits it, bro.
Yeah, he does. He plays angry really well.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a scary white dude. He's big too, tall.
He's tall as hell.
Yeah.
How tall is he?
He's like, I know he's over 6 feet. I know he's a big dude.
He got to be like 6'3".
Yeah, and he's built too. So I mean, he's just like a big dude. And
He
the way he
big.
walks, he like lumbers. It's not even like he don't stand up straight.
He don't look like an actor.
No, he doesn't. But he's so good at acting.
And he was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the dude who was like real like skeptical of him did great. I don't know his name in real life.
Klansman?
Yes.
Who wanted to make him take the Jew lie detector test?
He was great.
Yeah, he was great.
What
about Foreman?
You know what? When I knew he was in that movie, but Lizzie and Jasmine didn't, and they were like, oh, and Jasmine was like, why he took that role? Like, bro, he got to get money and shit. Like, bro, he ain't done nothing else since Spider-Man 3, but he took this role, and I was hoping the whole time, like, please don't say nigga, and he almost made it, but he said one at the end, and I was like, dang, it killed me. God,
I know he said boy. He's like, what'd you do, boy?
No, he said a nigger at the end.
Okay, well, you got to get him in if you want to be authentic.
He said I think he was like, you were the nigga that touched me, because you know he took that picture with him.
Yeah.
And when he told him on the phone what it was, he was like, you the nigga that touched. He said one, and it hurt me. I was like, damn, Eric, like, nah, man.
He's good though.
He's a good actor, man.
He's in a lot of good stuff. He's a very good actor.
I don't see him much. I don't know what he do.
He's in a lot of movies. I mean, he is. He's in Interstellar.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good actor. Honestly, he probably works more than any of them from that show. Yeah, because you know, Ashton don't really work no more. Mila shows up every now and then do comedy or something, but he works pretty consistently.
Hyde ain't working ever.
I mean, he got caught with that sexual misconduct case, so he probably ain't getting work no time soon.
And who else is in the group? Oh, Fez. He don't be doing too much either.
I mean, he got he be on he got that Handy Mandy on Disney Junior.
Boy,
he got some stuff, and he was smashing Demi Lovato for a minute. So
you said she smashed her veins too.
Well, and Lord Prep is now Alex Ross. So
okay, so wait, who's the main character's name? Where he come from? What he been in?
Who plays Ron Star Wars?
Yes,
that's John David Washington. That's Denzel's son.
Really?
Yeah, that's his son. If you listen to the movie, he sounds like Denzel.
Now that you say that his regular voice was Denzelish, what has he been in? Anything, or this is his first role?
He's in the show Ballers.
Oh, of course.
Dwayne The Rock. He plays a running back.
What's the name? John Denzel Washington.
John David Washington.
John David.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Laura
I
Harrier,
think
I loved her. She was great.
who?
The girl who played his girlfriend. She was Liz Allen in the Spider-Man movie. She was the black girl that Peter liked.
What's her name in real life?
Laura Harrier.
She's pretty.
Yeah, she's gorgeous, dude. Especially with that fro. Like she was good with the long straight hair, but that fro worked.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, I just really liked it.
yeah,
I
me as
think
well.
I think the acting was. I think everybody played the part. The opening scene is hilarious with Alec Baldwin,
Yeah,
and that's funny too. It had to be at least 300 niggas in that movie, and I loved it.
just all packed in the, all laughing and having a good time.
Hey, no, it got hard for Lindsay and Javin. Like Javin was getting kind of frustrated, and Lindsay just like,
Because they
man,
were laughing. What were they
they
talking?
didn't know. No, well, me and Lindsay was laughing, and then Lindsay kind of was like, "Oh man, like it was a lot." And Jasmine was like, "Cause I guess they didn't watch the trailer. Lindsay didn't even know what movie it was. She's like, "What is this called?" Like Blakkklansman. She's like, "Oh, is this movie?" Like, yeah. And Jasmine just had no idea, really.
Mhm. Yeah,
I just kind of took them along, and so I knew what to expect. But I figured everybody did with the name Blakkklansman, but
Yeah.
and Spike Lee directed, but they ain't know that either. So it was just like Jasmine got visibly upset, and I was like, "It's a movie, baby." And she was just like, "It was a lot." I was rolling the whole time. I was laughing the whole time because it's like I know what white people. I know they say this all the time, so it's like it ain't shocking to me.
yeah, it's wild.
I know they say that.
Some of them movies.
I know they were saying it up there. They're like, "Oh, I use that language myself." I know the white ladies behind us said. So it's like,
Did you who else? Oh, I really like the conversations Ron and his partner was having, him and Adam Driver. You know, he's
yes,
like
they were really good.
he's like, you're Jewish, man. Why didn't you got sick in the game? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
He's like, that's my business. He's like, you're
Oh,
passing.
and Ian.
Yeah.
Some of the shots in the movie was so beautiful.
Which ones?
Like it was the one when like the detective dude came and gave Ron the files, and then it showed like them standing talking to each other, and then like had like they're like water in the backdrop or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the whole scene when Heath from Walking Dead was talking, and they showed all the faces in the crowd. That shit
Oh,
was so dope.
oh yeah, Kwame Ture when he was doing the speech,
Yes.
and they was and the you had the like the black, the voided black, and then you just see the faces kind of fade
All
in.
you all you see their face and hair. That shit was so dope.
Yeah, that was amazing. I saw that. I was like, this is phenomenal. I can't believe he put this in this movie because that speech he let the whole thing ride. That's the whole speech. I love that speech.
Oh, was that the real speech from real life?
I don't know if that was a real speech, but I'm saying like he just let the man. He didn't cut it. Like it was just the whole speech the whole time.
Oh, it was just one shot.
No, I'm saying like it was like 6 minutes of the dude talking. Like
Oh yeah, it was long,
it was
and
long though.
all the people saying like "boom shakalaka" and stuff was hilarious.
My favorite thing from that movie is when she's like, "Are you down for the liberation of all of black people?" And he's like, "What she says? She says, all power to all the people."
All power to all the people.
She's like, "Are you down for the liberation of black people?" She always says that. It's in the trailer too, and I love that line for some reason.
But it was a couple more shots. I can't remember because I only seen it once, and it's fleeting. But like it was just some shots in here that was so well done, and so bro, and the scene at the end with the whole bomb, that shit was so. I brought my heart was beating so fast.
Oh yeah, I
I
was
just knew,
tense, dude. I was like, I was hyped when
bro, I knew
when he
somebody was
drove
gonna
down,
die. Bro.
and he was like, Patrice! They were like, get off her, boy. When he got on the woman,
Yes,
he's like, I'm a cop, and they start beating him, and he's like, Patrice! And then the bomb blew up. When it was in slow motion, right? I think.
yes, it was in slow motion,
Yeah, that part was tense. I was like, oh man,
bro. I was
what's
sitting
gonna
there,
happen?
bro. I was so tense on that part because it was like I just knew either they was gonna kill him or that bomb, or she still. I thought she still had the bomb. And when they set it off, she was going to explode, and he was close by, so he was going to explode. But she put it on that car.
Yeah,
It was dope. It was just like that thing got me going. And then the end when they knocked at the door, I was like, "Oh, it ain't over. It can't be this happy of an ending." And then it didn't, and I love it because it was just like even though you got a good win, you still got to worry about somebody knocking at your door.
yeah, exactly. But that was probably, I think that was one of the most beautiful things Spike Lee's ever done. When they lock out the door, and then you do the dolly shot, and then they're both holding the
And it
gun.
just moved them closer, but they ain't walking.
Yeah, it's just like floating basically with the guns pointed, and then they
Yes,
go outside to the burning cross, and then the clan out there. I thought that's my favorite. That was my favorite part of the movie. And then they cut to the stuff afterwards, which I thought was dope too. But that part, if they had ended right there, I'd be like, oh, this is great. Right, that ending was perfect.
Oh yeah, when they not and they both got a strap. I
Yeah.
said yes, they both got a strap.
I think this is the sight of both of them with guns floating towards the screen. That's beautiful to me. It's on my mind whenever I think about that movie. Just them like stiff pointing those guns.
Like not moving, but you're getting closer.
Yeah, yeah, just yeah, I love that. That's dope.
Oh, I forgot the thing with the cross burning. They all around it. That
Yeah,
shit is dope.
when they was outside, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. When because
Oh,
they went outside the
and
window and then you could see in the distance the cross. You can see the
yeah,
flaming cross in the distance, and they just get closer, and then you just see all the clan around them.
all them kneeling. That shit was
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, that was terrifying.
I was scared. Oh, that whole movie was scary as hell. Oh, you know what scene scared me when he threw the rock in the window trying to save her from the lie
Oh, you're like,
detective?
yeah, and they was running after him.
Bro, I was like, oh my god, that shit felt real. Bro. Like, oh, like.
You
And
weren't
then he
scared for
grabbed a
Adam.
gun
You
and
weren't
missed
scared
on
for Adam when
purpose.
they took him to the basement. He's like, "You gonna take this lie detector test?"
I was scared because he, you know, he's a Jew. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that would I love the moment when Ron and him were sitting together, and he was like, "I just got the Klan membership card," and he's like, "You know what? I've been Jewish all my life and never thought about it, and now all I do is think about it." He's like, "I don't want that," and he gives it back to him. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
I love that moment because one Adam Driver's a great actor, but he really sells it. Just the idea of like every day, like I've been going through my whole life being a Jewish man, not even having an opinion, and I hear all this, and I just like it's on my mind all the time.
So now I gotta think. Now it's a part of me. Now I gotta actually
Yeah,
think about it.
now I'm denying everything I always really have been. It's so good.
It was another part I really liked. Oh, I love the whole baptism scene. That shit was scary too, but
Oh, when
uh,
they were inducting the members?
yes.
Yeah, that was crazy. And they was playing Birth of a Nation, they were just screaming.
Oh my gosh, bro, that movie.
Oh, Birth of a Nation is a wild movie. I've never seen it, but I've seen clips of it online. And I mean
I
not
had
clips.
never seen clips.
Oh, it's pretty crazy. It's like, it's a wild movie.
And
Um
they was in there like, oh, she's a, oh, look at that one. I was like,
yeah, like
God
they
dang.
were animals. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, we mongrels to them, bro.
I mean probably. I mean if you join the clan, you gotta have that POV,
Oh,
essentially.
and also, who was the old dude that told him the story? All the black people. I can't remember his name.
It was a Harry Belafonte.
Was that the real person?
No, 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 no. That dude's long since dead. The dude who
Oh,
told that story. Because if he was that
oh,
old in the '60s or '70s, he'd be dead now. Harry
oh yeah,
Belafonte is just the old. He was an old singer and civil rights leader. That's who
oh
that
yeah.
was.
But he was telling that story. And
And it
then
was.
they showed the picture at the end. I was like, oh, you had to show that picture.
I mean, they was just showing you that, like, no, this is a real story. That really happened.
I thought it was made it. I was like, oh, oh shit, he ain't got no limbs, bro. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and that was intercut with the Klan stuff watching Birth of a Nation. It was
Yes,
like
the whole
clips up. So
man, I love that scene. It was they were going back and forth.
yeah, it was between like the Klan screaming and yelling at the movie, and then him just like telling this story, and they're all just sitting around listening. Yeah, yeah, that was beautiful. Um, what else is there? Oh, I like the dancing scene. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, that was nice.
I think that movie is so well done, and I think it should make white people feel very uncomfortable. And Spike Lee, great, and I don't care what nobody say.
True, I
And
agree.
I ain't seen a lot of his movies, but I've seen enough to know he one of them goats. But yeah, I enjoyed that so much. What has been the response to it?
Everybody likes it. I mean, there's a few dissenting opinions. Before the movie came out, one of the only negative reviews for the movie was this chick at Vox who gave it like a 1.5 out of 5, and she said the problem with the movie is Spike Lee just kind of lets the white audience off the hook. That was one big thing about it. 'Cause she's saying like because the movie presents these people as like these stupid, hilarious, like hicks from like the middle of nowhere, that it doesn't really hold hold white audiences' feet to the fire and make them uncomfortable because they can't relate to that kind of evil. They can look at that and be like, "That's not me. That. I'm not that bad," and they can just
Yeah,
and they can just laugh and watch it. Which I was like, before I watched the movie, I was like, I wonder if that's the case. That's an interesting idea. And I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, that just wasn't Spike Lee's point at all. So I'm just not even addressing that.
and I think he let him off I think when he showed the Virginia stuff, because we've all know people who look like that and all that kind of stuff. Like that could have been your son. I think that definitely bring it home for white people, especially the woman said, "Did that really happen?" She probably got a son or a grandson that looked like one of them. So like
Hmm.
that could have been your son out there with Tiki Torch saying whites are the perfect race or whatever.
there are some people who some reviewers who like I like the movie, but I don't like that ending with the real life stuff because it was what was it? They were just saying like it's hammering the point home too much. Like we got it before you had to put that in there.
White people love to say we got some, but don't really get it.
I mean, I don't know their hearts, so who knows?
I don't think they got it. I think they just tired of seeing it.
That's probably true. And there was this one dude, this one guy, this one black reviewer who said he didn't like the movie because he felt like similar to the way the white lady felt at Vox. He was like, it's a weird movie because it separates racism to like what's up? Yeah, what you need? Which chair? Her chair? Her chair? Oh, the one by the bookcase. Yeah, I'll get it in a second. Um, yeah, he was just saying like the racism in the movie is. What am I trying to say? He was saying the racism in the movie is portrayed in such a way that it won't relate to like most current white audiences who see it, and the people who need to see it aren't gonna see it, and it's just kind of preaching to the choir about how bad racism is and stuff, and that the story itself has things that are unrealistic. He didn't like the end at all. He was just saying like the whole ending is unrealistic and it's like weirdly saccharine, and then the ending with the video footage was in bad taste because it was exploiting the tragedy of that moment and that kind of stuff. And then Boots Riley said something about the movie too, and I read his.
I saw that. Well, I didn't see the comment, but I saw that Spike Lee responded to Boots Riley criticism with him.
Oh, I didn't see that. You know who Boots Riley is, right?
I've heard the name.
He made Sorry to Bother You. That's his movie.
Oh, I need to see that too.
Oh,
But
yeah, Blind Spotting too. You need to watch that.
I hate when people like you're exploiting it. I'll be like, or I could just be showing people who don't know,
That's true. That's very true.
or I could be trying to make a point like this still happening today. Why I gotta be exploiting it?
I, I, I don't agree with the take about like not holding the white audience's feet to the fire because it's not in the same way. Like Get Out is about like liberal white people and the insidious underpinnings of their wokeness, right?
And
Like
how how scary wokeness can be when it don't feel right or whatever.
yeah, like about it's. I mean, that movie is kind of about like racism in like progressive white people, the kind of thing of being like, I know better for you, so let me tell you how to do better. Or
That's kind of what Schultz be saying.
yeah, or like exactly. Or the thing is like, oh, we're cool with black people now because that's the cool thing to do. That's kind of like that's what that movie is very much about. Like that social awkwardness of being like, you're not a bad person. You don't hate me because of my skin, but there is something in you that feels like you're doing me a favor by letting me be here. You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that movie's about. And that's what Blakkklansman about. And people who address it in that way is like, Get Out does this and make sure the white audience know that they're the evil ones. The Blakkklansman doesn't. But I don't think Blakkklansman isn't about acknowledging like inherent racism in all people. For me, Blakkklansman is about, hey guys, look, racism is funny. It makes no sense. It's a ridiculous thing that happens. And if somebody came up to you and called you a nigger to your face like a white person, I'd be like, that's hilarious. That's so funny, but we need to lock this man up. You know?
No, I might steal of them.
I mean, probably, but like the idea of like a white person running to you, you dumb nigger, like that's kind of funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and the movie is like, look how stupid and funny these people are because they're so crazy. This idea of racism, but at the same time, they also got like machine guns and explosives. So like they will still kill people, and then that's what the ending was about too.
Like it can be funny and like over the top, but they still dangerous.
Exactly. That's what I think the movie's about. And the ending was that too. It's like, look, bro, they're not everybody's a Klansman. Not everybody's marching in the street in Charlottesville. That's a very small amount of people. But in the same way, it only takes one person to drive a car into a group of protesters. It only takes like three people to set a bomb and blow it up. That's kind of the point I got from it, and a lot of other stuff. But we don't need to talk about all that.
Like, don't trivialize racism because you think it's just like, they just race. They ain't gonna do nothing. They just gonna talk. Because some of them don't just talk.
That's true.
And history showed that a lot of them weren't just talking back in the day.
That's true. How'd you feel about the ending?
What you mean?
Like the parts where they got the racist cop exposed, and when David Duke called again, and he was like, "Aria, you sure?" And he got him out of the.
I love that scene because he was like, You talking to this monkey, da 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 da, you white bread in Peckerwood, all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
I love that scene because it's just like got him, and then I was like, but something else got to happen. I thought they were gonna buy their house or something.
So that what you thought?
I didn't know. I didn't think it was gonna end good. I was like, something finna, especially when they were sitting there at dinner. Then the knock. I said, that's a clown right there.
That not put you on guard, huh?
Absolutely. I was like, yeah, it's over with. This movie ain't finna end well,
And it didn't.
and it did, but it didn't
That's true. Did you
because it never ends.
what else am I mentioning? Oh, what do you think about the criticism when people say that the movie is kind of problematic because it's pro police officer in a time that we don't need pro police officer movies?
Yeah, is it really pro police officer? He just is a police officer, but it's really more for change than anything, which also could be a lesson. Not all police are bad, which we do know that already, but also some police are there to actually change. Dangers that'll be like, you know, and even like at the end, with the whole blue wall of silence, even old boy, he broke that, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it's like, some of them don't. I think it did more about, police are good, which we do know. There are bad ones and crooked ones, but not all of them are. And some are even more than good. They there to make real change or to affect real change.
Hmm.
So it's like, I mean, look, I don't be want to hear that shit either. All that, not all police are bad and white lives, all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't give a fuck. But when you're trying to do a social, piece like this movie seems to be, you kind of got to hit all bases, I guess.
Hmm.
So it's like it will be. The other side would be upset if you didn't do that, and it's like I ain't even trying to please the other side because fuck them. There's white people on that side, but at the same time, it's like you know, I don't think it did bad in that aspect. I think he tried to just say not all police are bad, and some are trying to affect change. And I think more to it. I think it's told that we need more black people to be police officers to actually get the change we want.
So what do you think about the ending where it's like when him and old girl him and Patrice are sitting in his apartment and she's like, "Well, I can't be with you because you're a pig, and I can't be with pigs." And he's like, "But I'm good. I'm down for the liberation of black people." She's like, "But you're still a part of a corrupt system." Did you like that part, or were you like, I don't know what they're trying to say?
I didn't dislike it, and I liked it. I liked the movie, but that part is it's interesting because it's like it's almost like a word of your loyalty law type of thing. It's like, can you be with somebody if you think that they're a part of a system that is inherently for the downfall or oppression of an entire group of people?
Mm-hmm.
But you love that person. It's like, can you put that aside, or do you think that they are trying to put that aside and build to a better future for everybody? It posed a lot of good questions because he was a black police officer in a time when one you didn't see that much, and two, black police officers were not treated good either. So he could actually come from an angle of, look, bro, they treat me bad too. You don't see how they treat me in office. He said,
That's
I'm
true.
trying to do this for us.
I mean, think about how it started when it came up, and it was like, "What would you do if a white officer called you a nigga?"
There. And he
he's,
said,
he's like,
I,
"Would that happen, sir?"
he said, shit.
That got a
Oh,
big
hilarious.
that got a big laugh from my audience when I was that and
It went, it
and
went a lot of us in there. So
that and the what was it? It was like he's like, black when he was talking to David Duke on the phone, he's like, black people just say things different. He's like, what do you mean?
it's an aura.
They just be like aura, like aura, you sure?
That shit was so funny.
We was all cracking up, bro, when he said that. They just be like aura, and it's funny because it's like, yeah, I've heard that before.
I've heard of aura.
It's so crazy.
But yeah, I think it posed a lot of good questions. I don't think it did more for the blue lives matter type thing. I just think it said what we all know. There are good cops, and some of them are trying to make effective change. We know that, but I don't be want to hear that shit either sometimes. But in that context, with everything that else was happening, I think it was a good way of doing it.
Hmm.
So it ain't wrong.
I got you. Did you like the scene when they was out there shooting the guns in the field, and then Ron comes out and the music flares up, and it's like
Oh, and they showed and they showed
they
what they were
showed
shooting.
the targets. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
that was dope.
I love the music. Like
Oh, I showed to say that was maybe the biggest point I took. The music in that movie was so dope.
Yeah, the I don't. It was like I don't even know how to say it. It's like jazzy music, like jazzy
It was
70s music.
it was like a jazzy cop movie type.
Hmm.
It
Yeah,
was dope, man. The music was so dope.
yeah, it really was. Uh, what was I missing?
I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I did like a ton.
Like a lot.
I didn't like it as much as I like Chirac, but I
Are
didn't
you
think that
coming
was
down? I thought
I
you.
was washing the dishes and I meant to get ice and I forgot it.
Uh,
You want another?
yeah, I do. But you have to go back.
I'm going back 5 seconds.
Okay. I was gonna text you, but I didn't get around to it. Thank you though. What were you saying?
I said I didn't like it as much as Chirac, but I didn't expect to.
You like it as much as what?
Chirac.
Stop comparing shit.
No, I'm just saying like I didn't expect to. Like I went in there, I was like, all right, I'm hyped because it's Spike Lee. I ain't never seen a Spike Lee movie in the theaters before, and I watched it and I was like, oh, this is great. It's not Chirac, but I mean Chirac is like one of my 5 favorite Spike Lee movies. So
You keep comparing. Don't. Why you have to say it ain't Chirac? That didn't even need to be said.
no, I'm just saying like that's just something that crossed my mind when I was
No,
watching.
no,
When I
no.
was
But
walking,
it
I was
didn't
like,
need to be.
that was great. It wasn't Chirac, but it was great.
You
You know?
part of this. You part of this new thing that has to compare everything.
No, because I didn't compare it to like Do the Right Thing. Do the Right Thing is like perfect. You know,
Nigga, you still comparing it.
I'm saying I didn't because I knew.
By saying that, you mean that's a comparison.
Oh my gosh, I said I
You
didn't compare it.
you were just supposed to like it and then not bring up no other movie.
Yeah, no, we're fine.
I'm tired of y'all.
Uh, what else in the movies that I want to mention?
They do this in everything these days. They just compare like basketball players and movies and everything.
Are you gonna watch LeBron's new show, The Cut, on HBO? It looks really good.
That looks so good.
Yeah, I saw Vince Staples. I'm like, oh,
I saw Gerard Carmichael.
Gerard was in there. I didn't see
Yeah,
Gerard. I saw,
go back
I
and
saw,
watch that thing. Go back and watch that trailer. Gerard was in there.
I saw Jon Stewart. I saw Vince Staples.
Odell.
I saw Odell. I saw some other basketball players. I did not see Gerard. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it now.
Bro, Gerard was on the side in the hat.
Oh, I'm hyped then. That looks so good, dude.
And I love the conversation they were having. Look, I like LeBron. He's endearing, and he's like,
LeBron's doing
I
good
like
things,
his,
bro. Like
I
you
like
can't
his
really say nothing bad about LeBron as a person,
as a basketball player. He's flawed, but I love him as a
as a media personality.
like I think he has good opinions on things, and he's a good talker. It's
Yeah,
like
he's well spoken. Yeah, he knows how to speak.
he know how to talk, man. And I love the thing at the beginning, like I think that was a funny joke. I don't know if he got joke writers for this show, but when he said like black people, no, he's like, you have a dude in the barbershop all day, don't ever get their haircut. They ain't got no intentions of getting their haircut. I thought that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was always somebody who was in there from here like 8 to like midnight. They ain't getting that. He's at age is dumb.
I mean,
And
yeah,
I thought that was funny.
I know people like that,
I definitely.
yeah, man, that looks really good. I'm so hyped for that.
What's it called?
The Cut, isn't it? Isn't it just called The Cut? Or The
I don't
Shop?
know,
It should
but
be called The Cut or The Shop or something like that.
I saw Gerard and I got excited.
I mean, I love Gerard. Come on, dude.
He's I was watching some clips because sometimes I just go binge clips from a certain comedian. He's so in. It's like
he's that J. Cole thing for me. It don't feel like he's telling jokes.
he's not trying up there, bro.
So funny.
I watched
The best delivery I've seen in like years. Like one of the best deliveries ever, I think. It's so good. I'm telling you, him and Patrice O'Neal, some of the best deliverers of jokes in comedy.
Bro, I see Rock, man. I see a Rock delivery.
I'm telling you, go watch some Patrice O'Neal, and then immediately after, go watch Gerard Carmichael. They have similar tones of how they deliver jokes, and they're both amazing. Both are like phenomenal.
I've watched a lot of Patrice in my day. You know, I used to watch all them. I used to listen to all them like Black Phillip stuff and all that.
But those are like him just being confrontational. He's hilarious. But I'm
no. I know what you mean. But I definitely listen to Elephant in the Room, and I listen to the other one. And all the old ones too. But it's just like
died too soon, man. He was so funny, bro.
But it's just like
I don't know how he would work today.
I was watching some clips from something, and I was just like, bro, I don't know how long you've been doing this, but
who, Gerard or Patrice?
Gerard, I was like, you seem too young to be this polished. Dude is so polished this stand up already, bro.
Is it was it his from his specials, or was it just like from a show?
Oh, I like the like miscellaneous stuff. I like shows just where I don't even know where he at. And it was like, I'm finna look it up because it should pop up.
Was it the Laugh Factory? Because they have a whole bunch of clips of him on there.
I just seen all them, like a lot. It ain't that. It was
Was it? I saw one when he was at like a tech conference, He was doing stand up for like a bunch of like millennial like app startup people.
Was it live at the Regent Theater at the Riot Fest?
Was he wearing a hat?
No, not on this one. I think I know which one you're talking
The
about
one
though.
I'm
And
watching,
that
the
one,
one I'm talking about, he was wearing like a hat and he was sitting around with like Shailene Woodley. She was on stage
oh, I love that one.
because she wanted to smash. That's what I remember.
She definitely looked at him like, bro, I'll give you some.
Yeah, she be down though for like black dudes, which is
She probably is.
I mean, she is very progressive and she hangs out with Rosario Dawson all the time. But which one
Bro,
are
I
you
don't
talking?
know which one it was, but it was
Probably
it
the
was
Master, bro. You know he got a new one coming out soon on HBO.
yeah, he was on some late show recently talking about it.
I'm excited for that because I just I love the way he tells jokes.
It's so conversational, but it's so like you could tell he takes time, man. I just love
Mhm.
people who take time. Like you could tell he think about all this like to a T, and just like it's man,
Yeah,
he up there, bro.
I get a similar vibe with like Michael Shea, but it's not as much. I definitely
Michael Shea is great too.
I love Michael Shea, but I definitely think Gerard Carmichael is way better than Michael Shea. But Michael Shea gives me a similar Carmichael vibe, and I like Michael Shea a lot too.
I definitely watch Shea. I watch Michael Shea Matters a couple times. Like I watched it recently, like real recently. That's a great stand up.
Yeah, he's really good at telling jokes.
He's really good at joke writing and telling.
Yeah, he's very funny. Like it's surprising how good he is because he doesn't get to be like that kind of funny on SNL.
On SNL, right? He really don't.
hmm I guess that's just
I
kind of
think
how we can do it is.
I think it's the Just for Laughs, and it came out. It's older, but they put it up 3 months ago, and it's from the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal, Quebec in 2014.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen his Just for Laugh stuff.
But the video came out like 3 months ago
Yeah,
for Just
they
for
always
Laughs.
putting stuff out. hmm
Yes, is this one? And he was like, he started off by saying, "I'm starting to be comfortable in Canada." And it's like 6 minutes and 54 minutes. Watching when you get a chance is Gerard Carmichael in the midst of cheating,
The midst of shit. I might have seen that, but I don't
and
know.
he got like a red bomber jacket on, and he be fresh too, and
Oh, yeah, he
he
does dress well.
and he utterly destroyed it. And I was just like, bruh, it's conversational, but you can tell he know all the points. It's kind of like Louis to me. Like it's like like Louis said in that funny one. Damn, what's it called?
It's talking funny.
Talk funny. He said, "I like to make the audience think I don't know where I'm going, but I totally do. I know all the points. I just like to make it seem like it's a conversation happening right there."
hmm
And I take that with me honest because I'm trying to do that in mind.
Yeah,
And also, Chris Rock had a great thing in that he was like, a lot of comedians have great jokes, but they don't go over well because you have not established the premise. And he was just like the audience don't know what to laugh at because you're not telling them.
yeah.
Yeah. What we got?
Go make lemonade.
You ain't got to do that. I get water. But I was like, yeah, I took that from that funny talk. I took that about Louis C.K. and Ricky Gervais said, huh, yeah, I do it. And Ricky Gervais was talking about like, I love the conversation they had. I watched that a couple months, like maybe like not a couple weeks. I'll just go back and watch that whole thing.
Yeah, because
Where
it's all on YouTube.
yes, where Ricky Gervais was like, he was talking about like how he want his jokes to feel like can't nobody else do them. And they had that whole conversation, and I'll be finna with you. I'm like, I'm trying to write stuff that can't nobody else come up with, and I feel like if it's too easy, like I know what he meant, like when he said when he get up, well, I don't know, but I imagine, but like when he was like, when I get up there, I want to feel like can't nobody else do this, and I want them to laugh because like they realize that too, and not just be laughing because.
hmm
And I just love that whole conversation, but yeah, I think Gerard is great.
Yeah, he really is. If you ever get the chance, two of my favorite comedians, it's a comedy duo. They do stand up together. They have like a short special on Netflix. It's like on a them shows on Netflix like the characters or the comedians or whatever.
Just the whole
Them shows on Netflix like they call like the characters of the comedians where they have like short different spots for different comedians as every episode.
yeah.
Yeah, but they have it's Kate Berlant and John Early, and they're always on Jimmy Fallon. So I mean, if you want to watch that, you can. They're very funny. But two of the funniest stand-up comedians ever. But they're a duo. They do it together. It's different because it's weird because it's like they're talking to each other, telling jokes to each other, but it's funny because they're addressing it with the audience. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird to explain because the comedy isn't the same as like a typical stand-up. It is stand-up comedy, but it's not the same as stand-up because it's almost like stand-up comedy to each other in front of an audience. That makes
Yeah.
sense. It's pretty great.
What was this on again?
I mean, you ain't gotta watch that. Just watch like a clip of them. It's John Early and Kate Berlant. Just watch them together. Just one clip, and then you'll get the idea of what they do. Is there anybody else I watch? Not really. Gerard, Dave Davinoff, Esther. She don't really do stand up anymore.
I be on a lot of older comedians, but I don't really know what's going on with these young ones. But
I know you like Moshe Kasher.
I like that. Them few clips I saw.
I mean, you like Natasha Leggero, his wife?
No,
What? Why you say it like that?
because I don't know. I don't watch your stuff.
They got a special together on Netflix.
Bro, what made you think I watched it?
Moshe Kasher is funny. He's very funny.
Moshe Kasher is funny.
Yeah.
And his wife's funny too, and they funny together.
I feel like I started it a long time ago, and then I just stopped.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I did the same thing with Craig Ferguson. I was like,
I think Craig Ferguson is not as funny stand-up wise as he is on the show.
yeah. I was like, because I was really into him for like a spell, and I was like, let me go see his stand-up, and I was like,
Yeah,
nah.
his stand-up's good. Like, it's not nothing great. Like, it's funny.
The glass. You want the glass? I'll take the cup. I'll take the.
Do your podcast.
Okay. But shit, talking reckless. But
I'll be watching clips of Kirk Ferguson and just be cracking up. Clips I've seen before. I just be rewatching clips that are just hilarious to me. But
yeah, he was funny on them.
Yeah, very funny.
Conan's still great though.
I never watch Conan. I literally never watch. I don't even watch interviews with Conan. Ever.
I love his monologues, but I love his interviews too.
Like, the only interviews I watch on Conan because I think Bill Burr is hilarious on that show.
Yes, I was just gonna say, if you don't watch nothing else, watch it. Bill Conan don't laugh like that with nobody else.
Bill Burr is funnier on Conan than he is on his stand-up. And I like Bill Burr's stand-up.
That's definitely true though, because I tried to watch one earlier, like not too long ago, and I was like, I don't know if I can make it all the way through this, but
yeah, it's kind of like a one-trick thing. Like, he kind of does his thing the whole time. It's funny though.
Yeah, don't ebb and flow. It's just like it's one speech the whole time. It's like,
Yeah.
all right.
I find Bill Burr funnier conversationally because he just has a funny personality. You ever listen to his like rants about like feminism and stuff?
Yes,
Hilarious.
he's definitely funny.
Yeah, he's definitely funny dude. But he's his funniest on Conan. I guess because Conan just let him go. He be going, bro.
He'll say like, have you heard her talk about like was it Neil Armstrong and all that kind of stuff?
Probably. I've seen so many of them. I don't remember.
This shit's
He's been on that show so much.
hilarious.
Yeah, he's probably the funniest guest on Conan, I'd say.
Okay. But yeah, I think but Conan be crying, and I've never seen Conan laugh that hard unless.
Yeah, I mean, Conan got his fake laugh for the jokes of like the famous people. But yeah, he's definitely sincerely laughing when Bill's there.
Yes, he do.
That's why Bill's always there.
Yeah, Bill always do.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bill like it too.
Yeah, because that's probably the only show he's allowed to go on. I've never seen him on anybody else's show.
He can't do that with Colbert or Kimmel.
I mean, he might have been on Colbert.
I feel like he's been on Colbert.
He definitely ain't been on like Corden or nothing, like James Corden, or like Seth Meyers and nothing like that.
All right, Seth Meyers still do that show?
Yeah.
Bro, I forgot that came on.
Nobody cares. I never watch his clips because I don't.
Nobody care about late night in general anyway.
But the thing is, I watch like James Corden's clips because for some reason he makes it like more like podcast, like sociable sometimes. And I like his guests tell better stories there. And I watch Colbert sometimes because he has interesting guests like Charlemagne, which nobody else has. And then Kimmel sometimes because he has like really good guests like Cardi B or something. Like, he has really popular guests on his show.
I hate Kimmel, kind of.
I mean, he's a lot less funny than he used to be. I used to love Kimmel, and I don't think he's very funny at all now. I don't know what it is. But
Does Fallon still have his show?
Yeah, still doing his thing. I'd never watch his show.
I never watch Fallon.
Unless he's playing a game, and then it's always funny. You don't know. You never do like at like Mad Lib Theater where they just
Yeah.
punch in words and then they do it like a scene from like 50 Shades of Grey with their words they punched in. That stuff is fun.
He needs somebody like Will or Justin where he can like do a whole, thing with, but like when he just sit down talking, he's not interested.
I mean, he's always funny when like Kevin Hart's there because Kevin Hart's hilarious.
I think Kevin Hart can make anybody like,
Kevin Hart's good on like late night shows.
he's good on late night.
Yeah, because he's
I
great
think
on
Kevin Hart's
Conan.
good in general. I think it's way overstated from people like Kevin Hart suck. I don't think he sucks at all.
No, if people say
I
Kevin
think
Hart sucks, they either don't like comedy or they just don't like his movies. But
they
like,
just but he's hilarious.
really good
His
comedian.
stand-up.
Yeah, really good stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
I don't even think you could argue that. That's crazy.
Oh well, people say you got like writers, so it's like.
I mean, who cares? Like,
All right, it's comedy. Like, bro, come on, you gotta be funny or not.
Chill out with that. Like, you can get the same writers to like, I don't know, Amy Schumer, and she wouldn't be half as funny as Kevin Hart.
Bro, Richard Pryor had writers, so it's like, come on.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure most comedians do.
Richard Pryor was funny though.
Was it?
I think you gotta watch Richard Pryor.
It might be a little bit overrated.
I was watching some of that a little while ago. I was like, this man funny, bro. I was cracking up in the office. I'm like, this is some funny stuff.
Might be a little bit overrated.
All right. It's the way it's the vibe of the crowd because they be really into what Richard be saying, and it's how he delivers it. He's good too, man. He's really good. I don't know if I need to say that. You know who's not funny, but really interesting is like George Carlin. He's a
George Carlin he's not that funny.
He's like,
but
he's
I love what he
funny.
talk about.
He's like, huh. But then he's like interesting, hearing him talk.
I love what he says and like all his thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like his stuff ain't funny.
No, it's not funny.
Like
it just sounds like he up there talking.
Yeah, it's like entertaining. Yeah, it's like hearing a smart man talk.
Like his conspiracy theory stuff, and I'm like, oh man, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's all you right there, boy.
But I ain't laughing.
And he's like, this is dead serious right now.
No, so somebody said he was on like the Mount Rushmore of comedy though.
No, people say he's like one of the greatest ever, and I haven't heard his older stuff like in the 70s and 80s. So
yeah.
I can't say if he might have been a lot funny back then, or maybe I'm just not that kind of guy who's into that kind of comedy. Also, you have to understand that most media that dictates what's good and what's not is like dictated by white people, and I know white people don't want to hear that, but like, I got into a point where I realized like most of my references for what's good is like stuff white people told me is good. So you have to take all that with a grain of salt. You know what I mean?
Tell you what.
Like throughout history until like very recently, the media who has like dictated what's substantial to pay attention to and what's not has been dictated by white people. So most critical voices are white voices. Whether it's white female or white male, mostly white male, it's still white people. So like there isn't like, in the same way, people talk about Seinfeld as like one of the greatest sitcoms ever. There isn't that same cult around like Martin and Fresh Prince because the white people couldn't relate, so they didn't find the jokes as funny, and therefore they didn't find the shows themselves as substantial as say a Seinfeld.
That's interesting. So like, it's stuff not as important that white people can't get it.
That's the point. Like when all the critical, like that's why there's a big push now. There's like when like Brie Larson, when she won this award a little while ago, she said, I don't care about what a white dude has to say about A Wrinkle in Time. I want to hear about what a black woman has to say about A Wrinkle in Time. And people got upset because they were like, just because a black woman reviews it doesn't make it a good movie. And even some critics I like were like, we need more black critics, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't be allowed to review A Wrinkle in Time. I was like, yeah, we get it. The point she's making is there's stuff that in that movie or in Friday or in, Do the Right Thing that you just won't understand. And so therefore it won't resonate with you in the same way. And you might understand that it's good, but you won't pick the nuances that a black person would. And that's why it's important to get those voices too. And that's why that's becoming more of a thing now, more than it was, 20 years ago. So you have people like, cause think about it. 20 years ago, Get Out probably wouldn't be a movie people talked about that much. They'd be like, it's a good horror movie and they move on. But because there are black voices and people are substantially paying attention to black art, they're like, this is an important movie. Black voices are talking about how it is important, how it is real in a certain way, and that they relate to it because they have felt similar circumstances. That makes it substantial. But if you just had like a bunch of white people reviewing that movie, they'd be like, it's a really good horror movie with interesting ideas about race. But they wouldn't pick up on the nuances and they probably wouldn't care as much moving forward. If the people who dictate what's good and bad is just all the same types of people, then the art and the things like that sit outside of that won't get picked up and considered substantial because they can't necessarily relate to it. That's why there's only been like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Chris Rock as popular black comedians, and Dave Chappelle before black people had a serious voice in media. And now there's like a lot of black comedians that are popping.
That's interesting what you said about the Brie Larson. You said, I don't care what a white person says about. I want to say the black person. I could see because like black people have a tendency to kind of be self sabotaging in that way. Is like if I could see black people say that, be like, you don't need us, da 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 da, and like kind of like spin that into like a negative thing. It'd be like, what you need us for? You just want us to validate your movie, and like you just want to use us, kind of, right? When Brie literally could just be like, no, your opinion has not been valued enough when it comes to things like arts.
But she's not in A Wrinkle in Time. She was just making the point about like why minority voices need to be heard.
No. But my thing, I don't care if she in or not. My thing is this is like black people can be self-sabotaging at times and could spin that to be a negative when it really had no intention of being. And I understand why, because like if you look at history, why do you ever need to believe what a white person says if you're a black person, right? I mean, you have enough history to believe otherwise. But I think like we do that sometimes. Like she could have really meant well, and black people could have been like, "Nah, I don't know how I feel about that." And like, well, she just wants our opinion because she thinks it's valued. So you see what I'm saying? I could just see how I could see black people taking that and being like, "That's a bad thing," when really it's a good thing because we have a jaded view. Every time a white person says something, you got to take you got to consider the bad that comes with it. So I was just making a point. Like I just thought that was interesting that she said that, and I'll be like, I could just see how people could take that. And I don't think she meant it that way at all, but I could definitely see black people.
Not at all. She was just saying like, yeah, it's cool that when like a bunch of like white people, like a bunch of white men look at Wrinkle in Time like it's a bad movie and move on. She's like, well, what does a black woman feel about it when it's directly tailored to her and like her children? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's important to get that perspective on the movie as well. And there's a review channel that I watch, and it's two white dudes who review movies, right? Every once in a while, one of them might have to be somewhere, might be sick or something, so they bring in another person. And one of the people on the two white guys was gone. I think his brother had died, so he was at a funeral. And Crazy Rich Asians and Blakkklansman came out. So they brought a black dude to review Blakkklansman. They brought an Asian woman to bring in to review Crazy Rich Asians. And it was the one white guy and then the two, minorities for each one. And people in the comments were like, it's kind of passive racism when you just bring in a minority just for the minority movie. Either you just keep it the same or you bring him in for other stuff too. And my thing with that is, one, the other guy wasn't there. So what do you want to do? Just be by himself, which is fine. Or he could be like, you know what? I got a slot open. This person has a unique perspective on this that I just won't have because I'm not from that culture. Let me bring them in. And it's not necessarily racism. It's like, let me bring them in for this movie. So if you want to see them more, you have exposure to them and what they think, and maybe you can go to their channel or whatever and see their opinions on Avengers: Infinity War.
I don't have a problem with it as long as he gave his opinion of those movies also.
Yeah, he also did. It's not like
I thought he was just like you only really should have like you need to talk about this because it's yours.
No,
I
mean he talked about why he did it. He was like, you weren't here, and I could have either just done it by myself or not did the movie at all. But I was like, we got a black person in the office, we have an Asian person in the office. I was like, that'd be cool if like instead of just me talking about the black movie, I could bring in this black dude who wants to talk about Blakkklansman and this Asian woman who has a unique experience about Crazy Rich Asians. And then that's what the reviews were about. And people were upset because they were like, you're just bringing them in to be the minority voices for a minority movie. They should be on more stuff, and it's racist, and you should just not have them on at all and just keep it you and the other white dude. And I'm like, I mean, that's kind of defeatist anyway, right? Like, if you you might as well just keep it all white, since if you don't want them for them. I don't even know what my problem is. I can't even explain why
you hate black people.
Maybe, but it's like, that's not true. But
no, you said it's on the podcast, no.
Yeah, because I edited it. But yeah, I don't know. It's not important.
I don't know if it's defeatist, but I think it just sounds like, don't make a mockery of us. If you're gonna do your bigotry, do it with white people. Don't bring us into it. Almost.
I mean,
because you can't stop white people from being bigots. They're gonna do that. That's their country.
I mean, I don't know if that's their thing.
Who?
They like, the whites. That's their thing.
That's what they do.
Black people like fried chicken. White people are bigots. That's just the,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Black people like chicken, watermelon. White people like precious. What you talking about?
White people like keeping their foots on the backs of colored folks' necks.
On the back of minorities' necks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my favorite pastime, neck stomping.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I just think that's important to get different voices in critical medium because I was thinking about it. I was like, if somebody asked me what's a good romance film, I'd be like, well, Before Sunset is the greatest romance film of all time. But it's about a white woman and a white man in a European country walking around talking all night. And you ask me what's the best movie ever made, it's The Social Network with no black people in it. And if you ask me what's my favorite comic book movie, it's Spider-Man 2 with no black people in it.
I think you just like white people, and it's
very. That's what I'm saying. Like growing up and growing into like watching movies, what I've always, which is why I fight against superhero movies so much, is part of it is like most of the touchstones of what we consider good or what's ranked for us is like old movies made for and by white people with nothing but white people, and the people who tell us what's good are nothing but white people, and then the movies they recommend are about just white people with white things, so it's harder to get other movies in there. I mean, if you look at the AFI Top 100, the only movie made by a black filmmaker is Do the Right Thing, and all the rest of them are made by white men. And
that's because they had to put one in there, so they picked the biggest, probably the most,
Yeah, the biggest and most known, and probably the best, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like
it ain't no nuance in that pick. It ain't like something like, oh, I wouldn't even guess that, but it was just like something everybody know. Do the right thing.
Everybody agrees it's a great movie. Yeah. And that's important to recognize. Like, there's no reason why when people talk about the great comedies of all time, they're like, Ghostbusters,
Trash.
Animal House, Groundhog Day, Mean Girls. There's some others I'm missing. 40-Year-Old Virgin, stuff like that. And I'm like, Friday is a great comedy as well. Like, oh, we ain't seen that before. I'm like, have you not seen Friday? I grew up on Friday. Oh no, I grew up on Caddyshack. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
Caddyshack.
Like, to me, I don't remember a world before Friday. But there's some people. There's some people in this world who have never seen Friday or don't think it's like, or have seen it and be like, yeah, it's cool. It's like it's like a comedy. Like, I don't get like.
And that's like, and that's a classic to us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just weird. I don't even know how to articulate.
I got an issue.
Yeah.
Why do white people get to call terrible movies? Why do white people get to like have terrible movies, but call them cult classics? Why are black people cult classics?
Because they aren't. They're black movies.
They just black movies, right?
If you a black movie, you a cult classic already.
It was just a bad movie. But white people get bad movies and they call them cult classics, and they still kind of accept them. And then their great movies are just classics, like Godfather and all them.
Not all bad movies are cult classics. Just some are.
I ain't say all. I'm saying like
they have bad movies that end up cult
that
classics.
they want to accept. Because I feel like most cult classics are bad movies.
No, not at all. Because like Blue Velvet is a cult classic, but it's just like not many people have seen it. But it doesn't make it a bad movie. It's still a great movie. It's just a limited amount.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly, right? That's why it's a cult classic, because it's such a niche movie, but it's still a great movie.
I'm talking about like movies like what's up? I'll say Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction is a good movie.
It's a cult classic. And I actually like Pulp Fiction, but I bet if you ask,
that's more of a classic.
I think it's more of a cult classic.
That was a hit, dude. It's like a lot of people know that movie.
Just because you know it don't mean it's good.
I mean, most people. I'm saying it's not a cult classic because most people know it. It's like a really big popular movie.
No. You have a difference of opinion of cult classic. Cult classic to me means it has a niche people. It has a number of people who like it, but the majority of people don't like it. That's what makes it.
Most people like Pulp Fiction. That's my point.
Do they?
Yes, it's like one of the most popular movies ever. It won Oscars and stuff.
Nigga, that don't mean okay.
What I'm saying is, it's a critically acclaimed film.
You still validating them white trophies. Yeah. You still be trying to burn the BET Awards back. You still out here talking about the Oscars.
I'm just saying in terms of what that movie represents to white people and mainstream culture.
Or what about like Reservoir Dogs or something?
That's more of a cult classic because it's not many people seen it, but people love that movie.
No, not many people like it.
No, a lot of people like it.
You keep trying to change what a cult classic is. It ain't the amount, it's that is not liked.
Well, then Showgirls. Then Showgirls is that.
You love Elizabeth Berkley.
Yes, but that's a movie that's got like a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes, and people
I don't
don't
think
like.
that's a cult classic. I think just everybody hate that movie though.
But there is a cult. There's a cult of people who are like it's one of the greatest movies of the 20th century. Like there's people out there like that.
I'm trying to think of some movie. Usually Quentin Tarantino make them, so it's like
No, because Quentin Tarantino makes hits that people really like.
no, they don't.
Because like Django is not a movie that people dislike. You know, people love Django.
That's not a cult classic. That's just a good movie.
See, I don't. Sure.
I'm just saying. When we're gonna get our cult classics?
I mean, hey, one day.
Are you talking?
You gotta start watching some more foreign films. Those are what the cults are.
I'm okay.
Some subtitles, baby.
I think I'm really okay.
You gonna watch Crazy Rich Asians?
I might have to.
I think it looks good for what it is.
Yeah.
I like those kinds of movies. So
Did you see it?
I'm gonna see it at some point. I'm probably not gonna pay money for it though.
That's what I don't want to do. But
I mean, you ain't gonna be paying, are you?
yes.
Oh yeah, you got money in your card. That's right.
Don't put my business out to the audience. They don't even know what I got.
Just don't go then.
I don't have a choice.
I mean, you always got a choice.
No. You got a choice because you yourself and you. But the rest of us.
Man, I hear somebody. He said he ain't got no choice.
No,
A slave in his own house.
I put her through Blakkklansman, so I think I might have to go ahead and.
She didn't enjoy the flick.
She got tense.
It was still a good movie.
She enjoyed it, but she was over there hot. She was. She said, "These damn whites." I said, "Okay." I said, "Baby, please."
I ain't saying
He looked at it. She was yelling out. These damn whites.
She pointed at some white people in the back. She just put that. I said, "Baby, they saw you.
I wasn't trying to hide.
You hear it, don't it?"
And the worst part of that movie was not even the movie. It was the car ride and the trip to Walmart after with Nate saying nigger every 2 seconds.
You sound like Willie. What's going on?
Right.
I was like, "Bro, where she came? Ooh, that would have been fun."
No, I would have took both y'all somewhere and left.
Judge, you gotta tell the audience when you come in. You gotta say, "Hey, y'all." Say, "Hey, y'all."
Hey, y'all. I forgot y'all do this shit.
What you think we're just talking to him?
Honestly, yeah.
No, we don't just talk like
What you
that.
think? We just call her on the phone?
You think we just that close?
Y'all brothers supposed to talk.
That's funny, bro. Hey,
without an audience.
Yo, how Josh
we
doing?
need.
Is he good?
He's straight.
Or is he struggling?
I don't think he's struggling. I think he's fine.
I be worried about that man sometimes. I be seeing on Twitter posts. I'm like,
He said, "Oh,
you gotta watch out for Josh, boy."
Josh is good.
Hey, he good after the other weekend, but we ain't gonna talk about all that.
I saw that post. He said, "I just gotta accept the fact I ain't gonna be happy." I was like, "Whoa!"
Like, "Oh, what you talking about?"
He didn't get it. He was like, "I just gotta accept the fact that I'm just not ever gonna be happy." I'm like, "Gosh,
bro, I gotta go knock. Bro, I be having to go knock on that room and say, like, "Hey, open the door, man. Open the door, bro. Please,
crack,
don't."
bro.
I said, "Please don't do this, man."
We ain't locking doors in this house.
I said, "Please open the door, please." I said, "Hey, we can talk, man."
I'm like, hey, man, let's go walk the cowbells real quick. Let's get a little dance in.
I said, "Come on, man, because
I know,
bro, for real." But no, he be he be good, especially recently. We ain't talking on the podcast. I'm gonna tell you about that. Well, I don't know if I should. Well,
don't worry about it. I don't need to know.
No. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you later on.
I mean, do whatever you want, but you know. What was I about to say?
Yeah, he gonna tell.
You don't know. Nobody with that, but before we get out of here, I don't know if you got anything to do with. We gotta talk about that Milky Way real quick. Oh, and I'll talk about Sweetener because I ain't listened to it, but I'm hearing good.
It's very good.
I think I made a knee jerk reaction when he brought it up, Because I don't like Willie. So when he
Yeah,
said something good, it made me. I was like, man, fuck her. She tried, but then I'm like, I like her.
yeah, she's a great singer.
It just kind of came out, and I was like, well, I gotta commit.
I think you'll definitely like it. I honestly think it's her best album since her first.
I think I will kind of too, but I was like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know why I said that. It just
Like
kind of came out.
the song called Pete Davidson is beautiful. It's really short, but it's a song.
I saw that.
It's a song called Pete
I'm,
Davidson. It's a beautiful song.
no, definitely. I went and looked at the track list on Spotify, and I'm like, oh, Pete Davidson, I bet that's good. And I finna listen about like, I kind of listened to the whole thing in its totality. So
Isn't it wild the way people have gone off? Like we started watching Guy Code and Girl Code, and now Aquafina is in like hit movies. She's in Crazy
yeah,
Rich Asians and Ocean's 8, and she's just blowing up. Carly Aquilino was like like a much bigger actor than like Schultz as a stand-up.
is she?
Oh, she's huge, dude. Like look at her numbers on like Instagram and Twitter. She's like a huge comedian. And then you have uh like Schultz doing his podcast and stuff. He got a show on CBS Sports. You gonna watch
Don't.
it too?
I know. I definitely saw that, and that was very funny with when they were getting their pedicures or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. Shows could be bigger, but he's gonna have this niche. He's gonna be a niche comedian where he ain't gonna get to everybody.
I think he's cool with that though.
And no, I don't think he is. I think he realized that's where it was going, and he just had to be.
I mean,
But
he got a show on CBS Sports. I think he knows what he's doing.
No.
Okay.
No. But you remember when he used to talk about like if you don't do it for the money, do it for the fame. I mean, don't do it for the money, but do it for the credit. Yeah, and he was just like trying to be great and big or whatever. It just recently started talking about. Like
But he never talked about being huge. He just wants to be the best. That's what.
But I don't. But I think first of all, don't believe no comedian that tell you they don't want to be huge because that's a lie. I think anyway. But I think he realized it probably wasn't gonna happen because of the kind of comedy he does. And I think because Charlamagne told him a while ago, he was like, "Shows it's gonna be hard for you to like, he ain't just say that like you ain't gonna make it, but he was just like, it's gonna be hard for you because like
Charlamagne should have been looking at his own closet. Talking about other folks.
Well, you can say what you want about Charlamagne, but he's like he knew how to finesse the game and get big. He know how to be in a room with a bunch of people and
he didn't finesse them allegations though.
He actually did because we forgot about him. We don't even talk about him no more.
You forgot about him. Go look up Charlamagne on Twitter. There's still them hardcore feminists out there being like, I still ain't over that man raping a woman.
Who really listening to him?
I mean, they out there. There's still people talking about Aziz.
There's a few of them, but
some young lady.
Aziz I quietly doing the work. He back on Raw.
Did you see that article though?
You said what?
Did you see that article when it was like Aziz is quietly back to doing stand up? He was like standing ovations and stuff.
And I'm happy.
I don't know, bro. As soon as that first special get back on Netflix, they're gonna be like, all right, why this little boy back? Get him out.
This little boy.
Yeah, they're gonna start downvotes. It's gonna be looking like Amy Schumer all over again. Just like 2%.
She's so bad, she ain't even rape nobody, and they hate her.
I just think they hate her because she's like unattractive and talks about her vagina.
And I thought
that's really it.
It was funny. She was funny at first.
You can't be a woman and be like slutty, especially doing comedy. People don't like that for some reason.
Elijah Schlesinger are kind of slutty, but it's in a millennial like self-empowerment kind of way. But
it's also very misogynist too. That's what they.
She's so misogynist, but it's okay when women do it.
No, I'm talking about the people who hate her are also very misogynist. That's what I'm saying.
She is too.
Not really. I mean, talking about periods and having sex with men is not misogynist. It's just the fact.
I'm not talking about that.
I mean, what's the problem?
She said, and I quote verbatim, she said, women are the superior gender.
How's that misogynist? If anything, that's the opposite.
All right.
No. Because if a man said, like, men are the best and women ain't, that's misogynist.
You sound a lot like them. You sound a lot like them men on Twitter who be like, look.
So women can't be misogynist.
Nate, you sound a lot like them folks who like, so, but if a white person get on TV and say they down for white power, it's a problem. But black people can say they down for black empowerment.
So what are women then? Can they not be misogynists?
They can. If a woman gets on there and says stuff like, I can't believe that Amy Schumer talks about her vagina. She needs to be more conservative.
No.
A man and be a wife.
What's the name? No. What's the name for when a woman thinks women are way better than men and when like sucking all that kind of stuff?
It's like a hardcore feminist, right?
No, it's just reverse misogyny, right?
Yeah, feminism. What do you mean?
So you saying feminism
hardcore
bad?
Feminism. I'm not saying feminists are hate men. I'm just saying feminists are about the empowerment of women.
He said feminism and misogyny the same thing. Y'all heard Ian first here on the placeholder. He said misogyny and
I'm gonna
feminism
turn
are
up
the
the
same
volume on your bit just to make sure they heard
thing.
it.
I'm just saying, Elijah, she I don't know.
No,
I ain't
people.
watched her new special because I just don't really like her.
I mean, people just hate her because they just think they don't like because they hate women. That really is it. I mean, people don't want to say
That
that.
ain't it.
I mean, we talk about it. Like, I used to be like that too. I'm like, they don't hate women. They just don't think she's funny. And then you see the comments, you're like, oh no, they hate women.
No, you might be right. Cause I do trying to give women the benefit of the doubt because we don't get it. And I'm like, it's kind of the same, but it's so hard. I'm sorry.
White women, I don't know
Yeah.
though. They kind of
For white women,
they
it's hard to
iffy.
get the benefit of the
They
doubt.
iffy though.
I give a black woman the benefit of the doubt, but
'Cause they get real upset about things they ain't got no business being upset on.
because it be white women be like, hang that nigga, he raped me when they just had sex, so it's hard to believe them.
They don't have the best track record, do they? Like
They don't,
they had it rough, but it ain't like they had it the roughest.
and they try to
That's
act like
kinda,
we the same.
they're like, you ain't a black woman. Like, chill out.
And white women
Like,
try to act like we got the same plight. Like, bro, you was way up.
until I see you out here really bigging up black women, I don't really care about your problems. we all get it or none of y'all get it. That's
Cause
how
white women got their own kind of feminism where they just like
they like.
do for.
They really do, bro.
It's like you ain't really fighting for women's rights. You fighting
You
for white women.
you fighting for white women's rights. Be specific too. It's important. Oh, in the net stand up special to tie it all back. Um, she talks about straight white men in the special, and she makes a joke. She says like, what does she say? She says, "Sorry, I don't mean to ruffle any feathers of the white men here. It's just like you made the categories. You're just playing by the rules now. Before it was a black dude, a gay woman, or a trans lady. Now it's you're a section just like everybody else, like a category. You're no longer just the person. You're a straight white male, which I thought was an interesting point.
Oh, and it's kind of it's hard for them to accept that they are now a group.
They're now a small group amongst the whole. It's not like when you say like a man, you think of a white man. You're like, no, straight white men, black black straight man. You know, various subcategories. They're no longer the norm. They're now a category, which was interesting take. But
You know, karma wise, that people had this coming.
I mean, they had it coming for like centuries, bro.
And who was that said that they were like, when we actually come back on y'all, it's gonna be so much worse for y'all than it was for us. Cause we just gonna, I don't know who some comedians said they were like, it's gonna be so bad for white people when everybody else finally get their like real like due diligence and vengeance. It's just gonna be so good.
Yeah.
I hope it happens in our lifetime.
I mean, it's definitely gonna come back on black dudes. It's gonna come back real hard.
What you mean come back?
Black men had it too good for too long. I mean, I mean, black men really have been getting away with a lot of horrible stuff.
What are you talking about?
I mean, think about rap music, how misogynist that is, and it's like made.
Nigga, I was talking about white people. Let's tackle one issue at a time.
I'm trying to tackle it all. I'm saying like white women gonna get it. It's probably like white men first. They're gonna get it the worst.
No, definitely gonna be white men first.
And there's gonna be white women second, because they had it bad, but they still had it pretty good.
Did they have it bad?
No, they had it bad in the sense that like they got to be subjugated, but at the same time they weren't getting whipped. So they can chill out with all that. They couldn't vote. That's the worst thing they had. So they got the check a mark. So they're doing pretty well.
You didn't get the vote, but you weren't getting raped and whipped though. So I was like,
yeah. You didn't have to go plow dirt for 6 hours to make a living. You got to stay home and raise some kids. That was the worst they had it. But
plowing.
I don't want to disrespect women because I'm a man. I can't relate. But and then it's gonna be black men because we've been pretty horrible.
I have not.
I mean, yeah, of course not the individual, but as a general gender hasn't been the best. I still be seeing black men on TV talking about. I mean, like in videos and stuff, being like, "I'm dating a white woman," and black women don't get it because they just bitter and hateful. They mad because I found love with a white woman, and I'm just like,
aren't they?
You the worst.
His Nubian white princess.
You remember when people got mad at Childish because he was dating a white chick or had a child with a white girl or whatever? And and they can't. And somebody came out and said like Jordan Peele and Donald Glover both said, "I'm just dating a white girl because black women don't like me." And I thought that was the worst thing to ever say.
Who you
Ever.
snapping? What you said? You thought that was the worst what?
I thought that was the worst take to ever have. If you say, just say, I found this lady and I thought she was beautiful and I liked her. Don't be like, black women just didn't like me like that. That's one of the lamest things
What
I've
if
ever heard
they
in my life.
didn't like him like that?
What are you talking about? Black women are not a monolith. If you go to Leah, I'm pretty sure she would date Donald Glover. She is not the same. But the point I'm
Do
making
you
is, listen to what I'm saying. The point I'm making is the same type of black woman that Lindsay is, and Lindsay is the same type of black woman that Jasmine is. Black women aren't a type. They are human. They are human beings with a certain type of skin. So it's like if you say black women don't like me, fuck you mean? You ain't met every black woman. You just don't. You just found a lady you liked who happened to be white. Don't blame.
Don't they say wait? Don't they say niggas?
Wait. Let me finish. I'm
that
saying.
encapsulates
Listen
all
what I'm saying.
niggas.
Listen what I'm saying. I'm saying I hate when black men or like just men in general blame black women for not liking them. Like that's a whole like how you gonna blame a whole category of person? You know what I mean? That's not even like a specific type. Like I didn't date women from Long Island because they all they all like to live on the beach and I don't. Like that's very specific. You talking about like a whole category of women.
And you smart enough to know context. Put context on that statement. Black women didn't like me. Now, does he mean every single black woman on earth? No, he means the ones he went in contact with. None of them wanted to give him the time of day. And a white woman did. You gotta put that in context. You smart enough to know. You smart enough to know what that statement means.
Nate, I understand what that means. The point I'm making is I don't care who he dates. He can date whoever he wants. What I'm saying is don't blame black women because
he's blaming the ones who didn't give him the time of day.
Of course, but he's saying black women just don't like me. No, just because you a nerd and don't know how to talk to a woman, don't mean they don't like you. They just mean you didn't find the one that would like you. That's my point. Either like you found one that you liked and you settled down, which is fine. But like don't like if I for the rest of my life only date like Asian women, I would never say I only date Asian women because black women don't like me. I'm like,
That'd be white women for you.
Huh?
It'd be white women for you.
Oh, that's funny. But like the point I'm making is like what are you trying to say? Black women don't like smart, intelligent, artistic black dudes? Like a lot of people was co-signing. It was like, black girls don't really like those weirdo type black dudes. I'm like, what are you talking about? I know plenty of black girls who would date a Donald Glover type and who wouldn't date like a Quavo, who would like find him unattractive. Like I don't even understand that. You know what I mean?
Will
like,
say
that's like that's such a general horrible statement to make.
I will say this.
That people would never make about a white woman. You know what I'm saying? Nobody would ever be like, I don't date white women because I couldn't find a white girl that likes me. Like who would say that?
I will say this. It do take black women a bit longer to come around to those type of dudes though.
No, but Nate, that's a really general statement to make.
They have to go through a lot of bad to see the good in that type of person. No, I ain't gonna say all of them. I'm gonna say most of them.
Oh my god.
Stereotyping black women. It's
absolutely.
A lot of weird black women out there.
We stereotype I don't know why we act like we don't do this with everybody. I'm gonna do it with black women too. They don't get these jokes like everybody else.
That ain't a joke. That's just a statement.
Okay. And you know how they prove me wrong? By dating more nerds when they 17. No, they date nerds when they 30 because they ain't got no other chances or nobody else that want them. That's when black women come around. That's most of them.
That's why you got like people like Zazie Beetz and Zoe Kravitz out here dating white dudes because they assume that black men are just all like I don't know Kodak Black, and that's
tell them to change how they view black men. Shit.
I'm just saying, like people are not.
Hey, Jab on the show finna say tell black men to change. See, they don't want no nerds. They want the bad boys in order.
Why don't with a nerd then?
I ain't no nerd. Nate. I'm terrible at school.
They don't make you.
I'm a hood nigga, girl. I told you I'm hood adjacent.
I don't know about that either. But
Riviera Heights suburbs.
And you remember? Okay, first of all, you from Star and you raised chickens, so I don't really want to know what you. But second of all, you remember when Vincent picked us up from band practice that day, and he was like, "Nate's a little bit more hood than you, even though both of y'all ain't hood, but Nate, I could kind of see him being in that life more because I'm hood out here."
I don't remember that at all.
Bro, I remember the conversation. It stuck with me. He was like, neither one of y'all hood. He said, but Nate is more closer to that than you are. He said, I can always tell that.
But he said that. You know what I realized? Vincent was like, like 1920?
Yes.
And when I was 1920, I said stuff that I knew wasn't true either. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't think he did. I think he meant it, and I believe it.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been 19 and said things like, you know when you're younger, you like, oh, when you're 20, you know everything. You just got to figure it out. And then you get 19, 20, you're like, oh, no, I don't. You know what I
I
mean?
knew everything I said when I was 19. I meant.
Yeah, you meant then, you don't mean now. What I'm saying, like,
That's a,
have you ever heard? The point I'm making is they categorize black women as like these bitter people who are like stuck in a box about what they can experience. But would you
they
ever?
are.
But no, but Nate, have you ever heard any person say, "I don't date white girls because white girls just don't like these type of men"? No, they'd be like, "No, white girls is more open to stuff like this. They're more
Bro,
open to
we
people
say
like Childish
white girls don't
Gambino."
want in. Why are you lying?
But
We
that,
say white girl. Bro, we used to be in school like, you think she give a black dude? Like, nah, she, she ain't with no black
but
dudes.
that's
Bro, white girls do that all the time.
but that's because I mean that's a high school thing though. That's and one
Nigga, shut up.
that's high school and one and two we in the South, so that's different.
Oh,
Because
so that changes it. No, it just
that's a
some
Because
white
she might
girls.
not want to
No,
die.
no, it's just some white girls don't mess
But
with black
then
dudes in
some
general, no
girls,
matter where they at.
I
There's
bet
some white people don't mess with black
I
dudes.
bet you them same girls we was talking about in high school probably did in college. I can almost
I
guarantee.
bet I bet money they didn't. I bet they was with some dudes in frats like they was in high school. They was with the dudes on the baseball team or the white country boy.
No, it depends. You get the certain type in there, they'll definitely switch up. Like you would think like, oh, they only date like white dudes, and then they be like, oh no, they only date dudes like those white people.
Look,
You get
I get you.
you get a black guy
I
in that
get
frat
you.
who acts like that, they'll date that black guy.
I get you
That's all.
defending black women. I'm just saying, don't act like we don't do this for every group. They
But
are not excused from this, like bunching up. Like ain't no other group. They bunch of black dudes. They bunch of white women. They bunch of white dudes. They bunch of black women.
okay,
They ain't excused and
but
they ain't finna excuse them. Everybody get
Nate,
bunched up together.
but Nate, the inverse of that conversation about like the reason why Donald Glover didn't date a black girls because black girls don't like that would be the inverse of that conversation is he dated white girls because white girls are more open to dudes like him, which is like white girls are more open minded, but black girls have a very specific thing they like, which is just horribly racist and
Black
a
girls do
terrible
have
thing
a
to say.
thing. Like
I
I
think
see it on
all
Instagram all the
people have
time.
things they like. You know what I mean? Not all
I
white
see it on
women would like.
Instagram all the time.
Not all white chicks gonna like Donald Glover. In the same way, not all black dudes gonna like I don't know Kendrick Lamar. I guess Drake.
Bruh,
I don't know.
put it in context. He didn't say all women like all white women would be.
Look,
He said,
it's about what he said. I know what he meant. I know, but I heard what he said. He didn't say he what okay, look, you know what the answer would have been to that? I found her I fell in love with her as a person and she just happened to be a white lady. He didn't have to say black girls just don't like me, I guess. What kind of what
they don't.
if my son ever said that, like why like if I was like, you bring home a lot of white girls, like yeah, black girls just don't like me. I'm like, don't say that ever again in your life. Like what does that mean?
Bro, I really believe it.
If
I really believe this when I say
if
it.
your son said that to you, what would you say to your son?
Can I say what I was going to say?
What would you say though, honestly?
If my son said what?
If your son was like, if you was like, man, you got a different girlfriend every week, they all white. What's that about? And you just joking with him, you know, you're like, son, you know, you always got white girls. And then your son's like, you know, dad, black girls just aren't attracted to me, so I just date white girls.
So, boy, you lame as fuck.
That's my first thought too. You just can't talk to a black girl. That's literally my first thing. I'm like,
I
Donald,
said,
you don't know how to talk to black women?
what you doing to push off your black queens?
I'm like, your mom like you. why can't the girls in your class like you?
Your mom like you.
Your mom's like you. Why can't the girls in your class find you interesting?
But now I know. Do you know what I said for Robert? Like,
No, the difference is he's looking in a specific type of place. He don't want to say that. But
no, I think that
no, he don't
he
want to
might
say I ain't
be,
attracted to black girls.
bro. I really
That's what
believe,
he don't want to
nigga.
say.
I really believe that it takes black. It's
You was trying so hard.
bro. I'm trying so hard. I think it takes black women a little longer to realize, like, you know, certain things. Like,
No,
and I think certain type of dudes aren't attracted to black women until they get to a certain
I
point in
don't
life.
think so.
what'd you just say?
I
I don't think
You
for
said
all
certain
of
types
them
of dudes aren't attracted to black women until they get to what?
to a certain point in life.
That's such a weird thing to say.
Right.
It's the truth,
I
though.
think there's a niche of women that like a niche of men. But I think any woman does she recognizes a good dude, whether he's weird, hood, or what.
But I think that weirdness would make them take two on it, and they won't go with them quicker than they go with somebody else. Even if they really like him, I think they'd be like, "But he's weird." I've heard girls say that. I like him, but he's weird. Black
But
women.
But I'm saying, like, remember when they talked about this on Brilliant Idiots, and Paige was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of in that camp too. I wouldn't date Donald Glover because he's kind of corny." But that's because
Well,
she's like
she
a.
in hip hop though, so she trying to be black anyway.
But you could just say like, oh no, you can just say like a certain type of person. You don't have to say black women.
Bro, he definitely black women he dealt with. I don't know why we act like we don't know context.
Look, bro, I ain't seen him date no black women. So I mean, like, as far as I'm concerned, he
Nigga,
just
you don't know him.
look. You're right, I don't. But at the same time, when you make statements like that, I'm like, that's kind of a weird thing to say.
I just
It's I don't like that type of talk. Even if he ended up with a white chick in the end, I don't really care. I'm just saying, like, don't blame black women because you can't
Ian,
find a
it
black
was a
chick.
lot of black women who probably would
Uh,
have wanted you if you tried to get them, and not for your
uh,
looks, but for
uh,
how you acted.
exactly. Black women are not a
A lot
monolith.
of black women.
The point I'm making is they can like a Dak Prescott and also like a 21 Savage. It doesn't
But
have to
most of the
be.
time, they don't like the nerdy black guy. That's what I'm saying.
But that's a weird generalization to make.
But it's the truth. It ain't weird. It's just the truth.
You just got to know how to talk to people. You got to be
Bro, and
charismatic.
nerdy
You know what I
black
mean?
dudes don't know how to talk to people.
Look, bro, charisma is not dictated by what you like or do not like, right? I'm not scared to talk to people just because I read comic books. Just in the same way, you aren't scared to talk to a person. You aren't not scared to talk to a person because you watch sports. Like, what does that mean?
No, I think that's wrong. I think some things definitely do give you certain energy that others don't.
How so?
You used to say yourself to teach you about like confidence.
Yeah, I was like 13 years old,
I did.
and
I had it.
I didn't know what I was talking about. Obviously, not the person to go to for that kind of conversation.
Why?
I don't know what he's doing.
It did. Bryce had plenty of girls.
Okay.
I mean, did it work out? No, but
I can't
still, I don't know his wife.
name a girl he had, Nate.
He was with he got a female, I don't know her name, but I seen her riding around.
He got a girl now. I see her on like Snapchat and stuff.
So he had females in high school.
I don't know who he had in high school. That's my point. He's not the guy to talk to about that. Obviously, I was not smart enough to understand that,
But you value his opinion.
Yeah, at the time when I was
So
like
you don't know more.
13.
So you don't know more.
No, I would value his opinion on like tastes and things, but I wouldn't ask him like, yo, how to pick up girls. What kind of question is that? I'm a grown man.
Well, you wouldn't ask nobody that anymore, Ian.
What the point I'm making is, then he faked the type of confidence that I didn't understand. But
How you know he faked it?
obviously he wasn't. Look, I can't even explain how I know he was faking it, or either not even faking it, just kind of like this bravado that he gave off. And then after a while, when I realized my own confidence, I was like, oh, okay, it's very different from what he's doing.
Bro, he still give off that same vibe.
Either I realized that what works for me is not the same thing that works for him, or I just realized he's not the type of person I'm striving towards. I can't even understand. I can't even like articulate what I mean. The point I'm making is, after a while, I realized, oh, I'm not trying. I can do my own thing. That's just like youth. You don't know what you're doing, so you just ask people you think know what they're doing. He looked like he looked like he knew what he was doing.
That makes sense. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying we ain't gonna act like some things don't give confidence quicker than others.
Yeah, I mean,
because sports definitely will give you more confidence than other things will.
What do you mean, like liking sports or playing sports?
No, like being in sports.
Like playing sports?
Yes.
Like playing a sport.
Nigga, yes.
But you're just athletic. I think because you're comfortable with your body, you're just more confident. That's all that is.
Yeah, and that breeds
confidence. I got more comfortable when I started marching snare drum because I just exercised more. I just feel better being
That's
my
athletics.
Body. That's my point.
Whether they believe it or not, that's athletics.
But the point. But the athletics themselves weren't the things that made me confident. It was the fact that because I exercised, I was in better shape.
No. It was absolutely both. Because you got in front of people, you had to get it right in front of people, and when you did, it felt good. That definitely breeded confidence.
Nate, sure, I guess, but I mean, just being a part of a group of people who are confident brings confidence. That's all that is.
Hey, my nigga, the point is, black women know what they like, and it ain't nerds. So I don't know what you're talking about. And
we're just gonna be arguing in circles.
That's what we do on this podcast.
Yeah, I don't even know what that was a weird argument. But hey, watch the trailer for Blind Spotting real quick.
No.
Just do it real quick, bro.
Why do I gotta watch shit?
I didn't ask you to watch the trailer. It's so long. Just do it real quick.
Nigga, you asked me to watch the trailer a couple days ago. Hold the Dark. and
That
Slice.
wasn't that was last week.
That was a couple days ago.
That was last week, my guy.
Okay.
I'll bring up the date.
You said watch what?
Watch Blind Spotting movie trailer. It just came out.
What makes you think I care?
I just want you to watch the trailer, man.
I can't hear it with you on this phone. So what you talking about?
Well, can't you just go to the app?
What app?
YouTube?
I ain't gonna be able to hear it.
I'll just mute my mic. How about that?
This came out 4 months ago.
The trailer did. The movie just came out. That's what I'm saying.
Why don't you watch the movie?
The movie, it's not playing in Mississippi, I don't think.
Hmm.
Can you hear it, or do I need to mute?
Mute.
All right. Let me know when you're done.
It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Was that J-Rock? My hands good. Touch me. I know I was that close to you. Close to you. But I'm being too. I was trying to just come over. Nope. That.
What's that?
I ain't saying it. Nope. Nope. Why you come on my podcast? I know. It's wild. Thank you for dinner, baby. What we got for dessert? Hmm. Hmm? You said all those girls stuff. Mm-hmm. Pierce? No. No, man. I don't need that pain.
It actually makes more sense.
I don't need it to be simple. I see how you be reacting.
It's amazing.
Is it? I don't even be able to touch them.
At one point, you feel so much.
No. If I can get a tattoo, I ain't getting a piercing. That's how I feel, buddy. Yeah, come back. You never come back. I
What?
should have muted you. I said come back.
You watch it?
Yeah,
Did you really?
it was. It looks dope.
Yeah. Looks good.
It's a scathing. It's a scathing. Look into the dirty underworld of inmates and
Inmates.
well, inmates after jail. What they call
Uh,
ex-cons
yeah.
and police brutality and life after prison and how they aren't set up at all to sustain life.
Yeah. I heard it's better than both Blakkklansman and Sorry to Bother You.
Seriously, and I was definitely bullshitting. But what'd you say?
I said I heard it's better than Blakkklansman and Sorry to Bother You. So there you go.
You always hearing some shit, ain't you?
I mean, it looks good, don't it? No, not well.
I mean, it did.
Did y'all see
But
that the trailer in the movie theater for The Hate You Give?
Screenshot.
what is she again?
Hey,
Aquarius or Aries?
Really
What is she?
Aquarius.
hey,
What?
did they play trailers before Blakkklansman?
Yes.
They play The Hate You Give
I don't know. I kind of don't remember.
about the girl who was driving the car with her friend and he reached in to get a brush and got shot.
No.
The Hate You Give.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They didn't play that one. Nate's gonna read the book.
Who?
You are.
I ain't reading.
You go.
I gotta read Charlamagne Shook ones when they come out.
Okay, whatever. You ain't read his first one.
I had to read most of it. No, like 4 chapters.
Well, you gotta finish that.
We going to see it. It was like October 19th or something like that.
Yeah.
He'll see it. I promise.
Nah.
Yes, you will.
Gotta support black art, Nate.
Right.
What if I don't support him?
Not only black, but she's local. She's from Jackson. The lady that wrote it. Not Amanda.
Who?
And that's a whole nother discussion of why we keep on casting these light-skinned girls, and Star was definitely not light-skinned in the book.
Yo, I mean, Jasmine got a point, bro. They keep on putting Tessa Thompson and everything, and I'm like,
Tessa Thompson, Amanda, and Zendaya. I'm not only ones you keep saying starring in these movies supposed to be representing.
and they all mixed race too. We ain't no dark skinned girls in these movies.
Right. Put Letitia in another movie.
We don't need them darkies in our movies.
Okay.
No, just playing.
Lapita got to play a slave and then an African. Nothing in between.
That's what she is.
She is more.
That man's son, boy. Yo.
He say all this, but laid up with a dark one.
Whoa.
Because I know your worth. They don't.
Okay. You think he white and he want a slave? That's what it is.
I know I'm white. Y'all see I'm light skinned. I don't know why we doing this, but
Oh, you Jasper now, huh?
bro, if I was, bro, you know I'd be in the house.
Is that the funniest Loaded Squad sketch?
Bro, that one and the
He got a
straight
gun
with Earl.
What? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He got a
And the one with Earl when he was like
the
when he
Pawn Wars,
talked
whatever.
to all the scared straight.
Oh yeah, that's the funniest one. Yeah.
Oh, bro, and when Tyler was
You got
that
so many
show
necklace.
host and he smoked necklace. And the one with Tyler was the show host and he did the crack and he just sat there for like 30. He just
like I'm gonna do some crack.
It's all right, fuck it, let's do some crazy. I got options, and then he smoked it. They're like, "Yo, okay."
Or the Pawn Stars where they was like, "You been racist." Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have some good ones, bro. Oh man.
Oh shit.
Oh, dude.
Lord of Squad was so underrated, bro.
It really was.
Oh man. You remember the one where Earl was kind of like he went to Tyler's house to he was like this game. She like, "Hey guys, it's me," and he said, "Today we're going to cook like such," and they went to his house and he cooked that like whack food or whatever.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh, you remember the one where damn, remember the one where Jasper walked in and Lionel was sitting here like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And like he says,
no, he said, what did he say? Dude.
I can't remember.
Yeah, because Jasper was sitting there, wasn't he? No, Jasper walked in.
Damn, I think he said, "Some, I don't like some." No, he's like, "You gotta."
He said, "Yo, this burger flames. Flames?
Oh,
flames?
Flames? I don't like these. You gotta calm down. He threw that in water.
Yo.
Stupid, bro.
It was so fast. Oh man, yeah, you right. I be forgetting. That was a good one.
Lord of Squad was so good, bro.
It really was. The one about the gun, I didn't look up until Willis used to say it all the time, and I was like, "What is he talking about?" And I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny." Is it the cookout and they arrested somebody?
Wait,
Huh?
what was it?
No, the one that Will used to always talk about all the time.
Which one was it?
The gun one?
I don't think I remember that one.
No, he was like he's got a gun? That one.
Oh, he got a gun. They put the crossbow bound. Most to least hated. Ian is close to the top of the list, I think.
Say what?
No, he's 7. You suck.
Who?
Most to least hated Zodiac signs?
Oh, my least hated?
No, it's Gemini, Virgo, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Taurus, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Aquarius.
That's cool.
Jasmine close to the bottom of the list.
Oh, that's too. That sucks.
You know, I'm at the top.
You ain't. Nah, Gemini was top, wasn't it?
Didn't it say most to least?
It says most to. Oh, shit. Damn.
Nobody likes you, bro.
I'm so disappointed I read that wrong.
That man dyslexic, bro.
I think I am. Shit.
You just saw his name at the top of the list.
I'm the best. Shit, I'm number 3.
Did you like Milky Way or no?
I enjoyed it. I wanted some more hard rap, and I don't think I got it. But
Yeah, somebody said it sounded like a Wale.
it did. It sounded very Wale-ish, and I'm very high on him these days. So that's good. But it takes out like this kind of different for Boss. But I like that he trying new things. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's better than Smile though. That's for sure.
I don't what? Oh yeah, definitely. But it got some joints on there. Barack Obama Smile is dope.
Bangers.
Barack Obama Smile is dope. I love Sanufa
Barack
and
Obama
Infinity
special,
Plus.
bro. What are you talking about?
Barack Obama. What I said? Barack Obama Smile.
Smile. Fragrant. Look, all the Corey C songs are dope. So.
Sanufa is dope. Infinity Plus 2 is dope.
You like the interludes?
They cool.
You know the first one, right? Because you love that one. The one with Woody Harrelson and Rosie Perez. You're supposed to say Infinity Plus Infinity.
Ow! What'd you say?
You know with the one she was like stupid. You're supposed to say Infinity Plus Infinity. You know what that's from?
Infinity Plus 2.
But you know what that's from, right?
No, I don't know.
From White Man Can't Jump. I thought you loved that movie.
Oh, you motherfucker! I'm sorry, Audie.
I don't seen that movie once, and I did enjoy the movie a lot. But she said Infinity Plus Infinity in movie.
I guess. I mean, that's from the movie. I haven't seen it.
So you ain't seen it.
You said you liked it, so I figured you would know what it was.
But that was like 2 summers ago.
I don't know, Nate.
All right, nigger. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
The whole night.
Bro, I was saying that nigga so much in the.
He should have been in the damn movie.
I was talking about Aryan race and everything. That shit had me.
He could have played. Who?
That was David Duke's.
You really could have played him.
Retarded, adopted son.
Do Whiteface.
No.
Oh, hilarious part of the movie was the big one that was retarded.
He was always drunk and being stupid.
He was drunk. He was like, it was hilarious.
Did y'all laugh at the "Are you uncircumstanced"?
Oh, we rolled on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You circumstanced, bro. I died. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's true.
Do something funny with the dick. You uncircumstanced.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Right,
so Milky Way, you like it? Best album of August or best album this year?
Oh no, I only think it's better than Too High to Ride, but I think I really like it though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna listen to it again. Gotta listen to Sweetener.
I think that's the best album of August.
Y'all trash.
It's a great album.
Maybe I ain't listened to it, so I don't know.
That's true.
But I'm just ready for new comedy. Really, I need some new comedy specials.
I mean, you just watch a multitude of the new films and shows coming to Netflix.
No, I'm alright.
I mean, Hold the Dark's next month, man. You ready?
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
And I'm kind of intrigued with Slice. It looks interesting. So
Have you watched the trailer anymore?
I watched it that one time. No, I watched it twice because they showed it on Everyday Struggle today.
Yeah.
The episode today was kind of whack, but it was kind of cool though because it was so free ranging. So they just started talking about a bunch of like random shit, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Because at first I was like, I don't care about Birdman and Paja and Lil Wayne. I don't care about none of this other shit I was talking about. Then they just started talking about like random stuff, and I was like, okay, it's kind of cool.
When they had the topics up, I was like, none of this interests me at all.
None of that shit was cool. I was
Yeah,
like, I don't care.
I might check out of this one early if it gets too deep into it.
And like when they start talking about like Jamaica and like how Act didn't know what like, you know, he just started knocking like 3 years ago.
He didn't know what the Twilight Zone was.
All that stuff, I was like, okay. And then they said that like we just kind of freestyling today. I was like, it's cool that way. I like kind of liked it.
Yeah, I really enjoy the show. The desk is
I realized
my least favorite part, but I still like her though.
You know, she annoyed me way more than she did when Joe was there. But you know what I realized I like?
Ack was annoying me this episode a bit, but that was about it. Go ahead.
You know what I realized when I liked it when I was like when it popped up and I was like, ooh, it's Monday. I forgot. I was like, well, I'm excited for Everyday Struggle. I was like, that's when I was like, okay, I might be into this. Like that's how I felt when Joe Budden was on. I used to wait for them episodes like every morning, and I listened to it on campus or before I waited for class or when I walk on the campus. I used to listen, and it's kind of getting back to that point. I've been waiting for it. Like, I think one day last week, I looked it up on YouTube, like Everyday Struggle, just to see if it came out, because I didn't get the notification. And it had dropped like 15 minutes before. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why they ain't telling me.
Yeah, I didn't listen to nothing but the highlights when Joe was on. When you got like
you used to listen to highlights.
Yeah, when you had like a Vic Mensa or like him yelling at Lil Yachty, that's when I watched. Other than that,
that was the beginning.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't care about the show other than that stuff.
Bro, you remember? Can you think back to when they first came out and like how long ago that was? I remember we was like together. I think that first day.
I do not know.
It came out. I remember talking to you that night when I had finally got a chance to listen to it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's a new show."
I was probably still at. It was at the point though.
We was at the point, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That was a long time ago.
Yep.
To think about where that show is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, fuck you.
I'm saying I agree.
Anything else?
I think we need to sign out for the podcast, but I think I got an idea for one.
What's that?
I'm gonna prompt you with something. I think you know how to react.
Amen.
You gonna prompt me for something?
I'm gonna prompt you, and then I'm okay. This is how we're gonna end it. So I'm gonna ask you, Nate, you going to the Oscars? What do you say?
I'm gonna say, you know it, placeholder.
Nah, bro.
What else was to say?
What Spike say?
Oh, I'm going to this game. That's hilarious. Yes, that's how we're gonna finish this up. Now you going to the Oscars? I'm going to this game. That's one of the funniest lines ever, bro.
It really is.
So wait, so after I say that, we just cut off?
I mean, it'll be like how Brainy is ended. We'll be like, all right, peace out, y'all. I'll be like, I don't know. I'll say, I'm going. Like, I'm finna go to bed. Like Nate, where you going? All right, Nate, you going to the Oscars? And then whatever.
Okay, so like, do you want me to like change it up every time? Like, the Eagles Oscars, or I'm going to the Astro World concert, or just always Knicks game?
This game is funny, but I don't know. Do you want to change it? It's on you.
Well, I'm not in New York.
It's a call and response. You can say whatever you want. Honestly,
I'm going to the Grizzlies game. That's trash.
Who goes to the Grizzlies game?
Jasmine did.
I mean,
But to be fair, she had hookups, so it's like.
I know people who go, but they live in Memphis though.
And people only go when a good team comes, like LeBron,
or they live in Memphis,
or the Warriors. They don't go to just see the Memphis play Portland.
Nah, people in Memphis just go to the game.
No, yeah, but not
Come
really.
on now, stop. Ain't like they.
But yeah, I guess we could just say the Knicks game, and people won't know what that's from, and then that'll be funny too.
They hear this and they hear you explaining it.
Well, you gotta cut this off. You cut this part out.
You just be like, yep. Yeah, and then come back
It's
in.
just gonna go. It's gonna go straight from us talking about Milky Way to be like, all right, well, I'm going to the Oscars. I'm going to the Knicks game, and then that's how it ends. Now you ask me, are you going to the Oscars?
Yeah, Nate, there you go.
Black.
You sounded like the voice in swimming pools.
What?
You know, pour up drink. That voice.
You throw it off. Oh, I heard some beats on this, some instrumentals on YouTube. And you know, like that name, like a J. Cole type beat.
Yeah, they trash.
And the dude named Sando was making a bunch of them, and I was like, these are fire rap to these. And I'm gonna start writing down just rap just because. But
Man, this man back.
yeah, I'm back. I'm gonna get my notepad.
Get that pen up. You gotta start paying for beats though.
Who?
You
Them one says free beats. I'm gonna take them bitches off and make a mixtape.
And that man will hit you with that free lawsuit.
He'll get a free $3.
And they gonna be like, okay, keep playing with me.
I'm going to the Knicks game.
Hey, do you, man? Rap if you want to.
I don't want to rap. I sometimes do be having a feeling.
Look at childish.
I sometimes do be having a feeling, be like, man, I don't want to go write some lyrics then. See how good I am.
Let's go write poetry and see what happens.
I do write poetry.
Well, there you go.
He does write poetry.
But just compile it and get it published then.
You heard her, didn't you?
Nate, I heard what she said.
Well, you got attitude just because we got love.
I'm saying, like, you act like she was quiet or something.
She do be talking like a church mouse.
What was that?
He ate your head.
Yeah, what if somebody really talk like that, man? You like, hey, you want to write that stuff? Like, what?
Hey, you trying to go so? What? The fuck wrong with her?
Oh.
Ooh, man. Yeah.
Yeah. You ain't got nothing else, do you?
Let me think.
Chill out, Ted, bro.
Why you hate that so much?
I don't. I just don't need to hear that.
Ooh, Joe, you got anything? What you laughing for?
They're like, but, hey,
She said,
Josh.
she said she don't fuck with you. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. He said, oh, she said that bit like you saying ditto.
What? No,
What?
I didn't say that. I said that's fair.
She said she don't think you like her. Is that true?
Well, she's off-putting.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. That's a joke. I know they was joking.
Y'all got beef. They got beef. Bro, he said you off-putting. What that mean?
Yeah, you know we used to say that all the time.
No, you said no. We used to say that's off-putting. You said she off-putting.
I was just saying that in reference to that.
We did used to say like when we have a running joke, like that's off-putting.
It'd be like
she hurt. I can see it on her face.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jasmine. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I knew Nate was kidding.
No, I really wouldn't. She really believed that you don't like her, so I need you to say something.
I mean, I do like her.
Jasmine. He said he does.
I know you like me.
That's why you said what you said. Keep that same energy.
Nigga, why you instigating? I want y'all doing y'all podcast.
Because I want the truth to be.
Because you want strife. Like, you need strife in your life.
I know that.
It's gonna be a segment.
This gonna be a segment.
Nah.
What we gonna call it?
Nah, it ain't gonna be nothing like that. It's gonna be like running joke. Me and Jasmine got issues, and instead of Jasmine talking, it's just Nate doing the voice.
Right.
Like, shut up.
Hey, that'd be. Oh, that's hilarious. Yes, that's funny. Like Jasmine sometimes like speak throughout the podcast, whatever, and then like y'all build it up all the way throughout the episode. At the end, I come in, you were like, hey, what's your problem, BJ? And that's the conversation. And do that.
It'd be fun
And
because
that's
that was
every
just the whole
week.
podcast. It
And
wasn't
that's
even
every and
the
that's
whole
every week.
podcast. Just me talking to like a buzzing sound.
That's hilarious.
That is funny.
Church mouse.
Oh man.
Oh, something I learned from ADD. We should have this thing at the end where we just have like these little like quick takes, quick hits. Let's steal that from Everyday Struggle.
Oh, go.
One of mine, or like small placeholders or something like that. You know, like the bite-sized Snickers.
You go and I'll get one, and then we'll get out of here.
All right. Well, I was watching an
It's gonna
ADD
sound quick.
episode. I was watching an ADD episode. It was like
sorry.
best.
I'm listening.
You gonna let me talk?
I'm listening.
It was called. It was called Best Appetizers, and Kevin
that was. I think that.
Man, all right, bro.
That's what you get.
I thought
Like, okay, Kevin was eating like chicken wings as his,
mm-hmm.
and he had like, you know, they got like the flats and the what's that one called?
Drumettes.
Flats and drums, and he had a flat. You know how we used to eat them, like we would turn it sideways, kind of like corn on the cob. He put that whole thing in his mouth and just ripped it and took it out. I had never seen nobody eat flats like that. And I was like, that's how you eat flat. And it was like so good. Like he just put it in his mouth, took the whole thing off, bam, took the bone out. I was like, bro, we've been eating flats like corn on the cob for years.
I think Lindsay eats something like that too, because she dips hers in ranch. She just like
and then just take the whole thing
and just eats.
Is that,
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how she eats.
And I wonder is that an up north? I wonder is that an up north thing because she's a Yankee Doodle dandy.
She was raised with the Hicks. What are you talking about?
Well, you know, mine is from the racist town of I can't say.
No.
She's from Boston, so.
Who's from Boston?
Jasmine.
Oh, like born there?
She was born in Boston. Yeah.
Was he raised there?
What? You was like 5, and then she moved down here.
They ain't racist in Boston, are they?
Oh,
they just rob banks, right?
She ain't even seen the town, so she don't care about her town.
That ain't really her people, though.
No,
I say y'all and ain't. I'm Southern.
You also call parking garages. I mean, you call parking lots garages. So
that's what it is.
No, and she played hockey. But look,
ain't nothing wrong with hockey.
Wait, you did? I don't know nothing about you.
She Canadian, bro. She ain't Boston.
Bro, she really is. You play hockey in the streets. You was 5.
No, I played that here in Mississippi on inline skate.
Don't bring y'all stuff down here.
She was Brink, bro.
Nah, she was Rebecca Hall from the time. She worked at a bank for a minute too.
Nah, she didn't get robbed though. She wouldn't go out like no punk like that.
Did she really go out like a punk though?
She did. She out here crying and stuff and shaking. And then she gonna date the man who robbed her. She a bitch, bro. But
God dang.
Are you done with your take though?
Yeah, that's my take. I just like I didn't know you eat flats like that. So it just that was crazy. I'm gonna try next time I get a flat. So
that's interesting.
What's yours?
I was on Twitter the other day, and I was.
You was on what?
Twitter.
Oh man, I don't know what happened to the audio, but you stretched all that shit. You said Twitter day. I said, man, what?
Yeah, it must have been audio like bup or something. I don't know. And yeah, that was this girl in there. I was looking up something and she said something cool or funny or something. I was like, I liked her and I followed her. She followed back and I tweeted something about Halt and Catch Fire and she was like, oh yeah, it's such an amazing show. And I was like, you a real one, bro. I don't know who you are, but you dope. And I just want to say, Halt and Catch Fire is the best.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to get next time.
The best show.
You need a better quick hit because that shit was trash.
We really need to get on board. Every so often I get on there and search Halt and Catch Fire, and I'm amazed at all the new fans. But I just started it. I love it so much. I just finished it. The characters are amazing. I'm just happy to see that it's finally getting the love it deserves. And at some point you're gonna have to watch it because it's the greatest show ever created, and it's only fair that you watch it. That and Mad Men because they're both perfect.
Couldn't have been that great. It only lasted like 3 seasons.
Lasted 4 seasons, and at least it didn't run itself into the ground like some shows. So,
what you trying to say?
I'm trying to say neither one of us watch The Walking Dead anymore. So.
I knew that's where you were going. Like, you bastard.
I mean, that's true, ain't it?
That shit had a deep place in my heart, and you loved it too.
Yeah, I was hoping
But also,
they fucking
this
around.
ain't even a quick hit. This is just something I thought was interesting that you want to hear. Wayno called Better Call Saul trash on the show today.
I didn't. I did cut out like near like 20 minutes in the end.
I think that's like that's like 30 something in.
I don't watch Better Call Saul, but also, did he say he liked Breaking Bad? Or he just didn't.
Because him and Ack both said Breaking Bad was great, but Better Call Saul was trash. Well, he said Better Call Saul was trash, but they both said it was Breaking Bad was great.
Yeah, but like Wayno was like a stupid hip hop dude.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's true though.
You don't even like the show yourself.
I love Everyday Struggle. What you mean?
No, I'm talking about Better Call Saul.
It's in my queue on Netflix. I ain't seen it. I'm gonna watch it. But my
so
point,
they ain't gonna tell him you stupid. You ain't. It might be bad.
that's probably not true. He probably don't like good things. You know what I mean?
He like Cole kind of.
His favorite album of the year is still Victory Lap. Like whose favorite album is Nipsey Hussle?
First of all, Video Lab got some good songs on it.
Yeah, but it ain't nobody's favorite. Unless you like Letty. You know?
I hate her, and I hate her so much.
Chill with that, bro. She ain't doing nothing wrong.
I hope
her life.
the baby has problems.
Yo, stop. What are you doing? I do get tired of her not responding to my messages sometimes though. When I'm like tweeting.
No, you gotta talk down to her. She one of the women who
that's
she
what I'm
don't
saying.
respond.
That's kind of made me mad. I'm like, how you gonna respond to Nate? All he does is troll. And then I'm like, oh, that's really cool, lady.
Yeah, my definitely had Twitter
you ever listen to Big Crit? And she's like, Ghost. Nate come out there and say like, your son is a mongoloid, and she like,
I can say that.
How dare you? And then they have a conversation about why she got a dick or not. And I'm like, this is wild.
No, what happened?
Did
I tell you about this?
Yes.
You ain't gotta explain it, bro. I was there.
No, what I definitely said was, and he took us out. What I definitely said was,
yeah, you called her a bad mother.
She is a bad mama. No, because all I said was, you be dick riding Cole and Dot a lot, don't it? And she said, well.
She said like with the same dick you be on right now or something like that.
Right, and I be like, oh, you got a dick? You...
she's like, how you gonna make fun of me for doing that, and I can't make fun of you about having a dick or something? And you was like, it's a joke. You need to stop taking it so serious or something like that.
No, I said something about her child.
You said something about her being a mother or something. She's like, she's something like, oh, let me talk to your mother like that or some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, she coming at moms. She started coming at moms. I was like,
I said, bro, you had your child when you were 14. You better fall on my face.
You ain't say that, but
I ain't say that because I feel like, bro, I'm gonna let you go.
I'm gonna let you have this one.
And then these are good job, ladies. Sometimes you a fuck nigga.
I said, I'm gonna get Letty on you, bro. I'm gonna tag her in this post, and then she gonna send them Dreamville and them TDE goons after you.
Oh, I'm scared of all them.
Hey, Schoolboy's a crip now. Don't play.
I'm scared of all y'all crying over Cole lyrics. Do you wanna me? Jab part of it too. I ain't scared of them.
Hey, JID in Dreamville now. You know them Atlanta folks.
I ain't scared of that bitch nigga.
They close by too. That's a day drive.
They can come. I'll pull up on them too.
They gonna pull them on you.
Me and Jab gonna ride out right now. What's up?
We gonna open that door thinking it's the landlord or Josh, and they gonna be like, pop.
We finna ride out to these Dreamville niggas.
They gonna be like, what's up? It's so warm. What's all this liquid on the ground? Let's hope that ain't.
Yeah, you done.
Cool.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. And she got me blocked on IG.
Yeah, that's funny. You probably said some wild stuff.
Bro, I ain't said nothing to her to get blocked on IG. I don't know what that was for.
You had to have been, because she don't just be blocking folks.
No, I probably did. I think I did.
She said something crazy on one of her comments. She was like, nah.
She probably said something about Drake, and I was like, well, you like... Well, first of all, you couldn't make it in radio, so your life is bad. So
she do be downplaying Drake. That does get old.
Cause like when you just gonna admit that the boy great, it's like you ain't gotta like him, but she don't be wanting to admit greatness and like, well, I can't take you seriously. I just don't take her opinion on hip hop seriously.
But that's why you shouldn't listen to hip hop people, because they have bad opinions. I've been told you this. Why you don't listen?
Well, they're gonna say the same about you. So
I mean, I got good opinions though. Shout out Home Catch Fire.
You a nut nigga, I'll tell you that much.
Hey, do you, man? Do you?
All right, this is about 30 minutes too long, so it's about time.
About a couple hours too long. So Nate, you going to the Oscars?
I'm going to the Knicks game. Woo, placeholders, we filled it up. We'll see y'all next time. Jay will say bye.
Bye.
Just cut the whole last 30 minutes out.
Wait, so like, are we just gonna stop it at go to the Knicks game, or do I need to say like placeholders after that?
You can. We can fade out.
No, I got it. We can be. I would say it before. Be like, all right, y'all. This is a placeholder podcast.
Yeah. But we already did it. I mean, like I can.
No,
fade
I'm
out.
just kidding. Nigga, you can cut it out.